Okay, so we are up to session 108, or as it is easier to understand, Phase 3, Season 1, Episode 14. And the characters are currently on the Isle of Dread, which is the third group to reach there in the storyline. I think one of the other groups has been there twice, but not as the same group.
Oh, okay. So there's some people here who are going to go, oh, more adventurous.
Calcrix has actually been here before.
Right. Yes, she has, which is why she's now writing.
I think she's actually been here all 3 times.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting side for that one. So,
Yeah.
at the table
She
today...
really wishes she had a Pokeball this time around.
Well, I can give you a ball you can poke. Does that work?
No.
No.
Hey. Could be worse. It could be Hollow World.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Please never say that ever again.
Hollow World is a big Pokeball.
I was more talking about places to unfortunately be at 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah. So
Places that one of the players hate.
One. It sounds like more than one there.
Oh, anyone who's gone there generally says, why? Please, why? Can we go home?
perfectly reasonable response.
Well,
And in true Ariadne fashion, I say, Calcrix has never been there. But fortunately, we're on the Isle of Dread right now, so she should be relatively.
No, that's not
safe.
fortunate, because one of the entrance points is to the Isle of Dread.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, and we're in the Hollow World today.
I'm sure that there is a valley that if you go down to the bottom of it comes out on the other side.
We are very close to the Feywild.
Okay, so yes, at the table today we have Paul.
Who is Claude Damar, who is a dark-haired, pretty boy elf, diplomat, warlock, party's major healer at the moment, clan chief, and wielder of a sword he can't show anybody.
Well, not yet anyway.
At least not anyone who is likely to know what it is.
Yes, and there is more coming on that one soon.
Oh, cool.
All these stories have aspects waiting for them to appear. Lovely. Next person at the table today we have is Ariadne.
We actually have Calcrix, the mostly white dragon with the jazz wings, which doesn't do much good in the face of dinosaurs. It tends to attract their attention, but did manage to scare a really big one away.
Yes.
She is now T-Rex rider as well. She's normally accompanied by her faithful companion, Grindelwaffle Brewmeister, but he's currently tending her coffee fields at home. Happily safe, but Eep, her determined compatriot from the... Where's the Queen of Darkness from?
Queen of Darkness is Fey Dark.
Yeah, from the Fey Dark. So hopefully that'll help her in this world.
Because she is the source of all darkness.
Yes.
As she is the elemental lord of darkness.
No wonder Calcrix likes her.
So where each of the other elements, elemental lords, are actual elementals, she's the odd one out.
She's the goth. She's the goth Fey Queen. Because that's the way it works.
And since they're meeting, Calcrix has been collecting dark scales.
Yes.
Which is why she's no longer the white dragon.
Yes.
Whitish.
And online today we have Jeremy.
Yeah, good evening all. I'm playing Black Nimmer, the Atruaghin clansman who started out from somewhat humble beginnings as a old Walkman, but has since been touched on the shoulder by Atruaghin a few times in his life now, and been tasked with having become Chief of Dragon Clan and Chief of Chiefs, and then been blessed to assist the integration between the dragon kind and humankind by becoming half dragon. He's now been given the task of realigning the entire Atruaghin philosophy and society to one that is more suited to the modern world.
And on the bright side of things, he'll also be one of the examples of why half races are hated by the rest of the world.
Yes, because he's now half dragon. Didn't used to be.
Yeah. And so that company he's still kind of come to do with himself on the fact that, hey,
Yes.
like everyone else, he hates half races.
Yes. By the way, will offer my services as a researcher and historian for your work.
And joining us today is David.
On mute.
Who's still on mute.
It's always hardest to unlock your phone when you desperately try and get to it. Hello, I'm David. I play Bob, the good boy cat samurai.
The good boy.
That's normally.
I like it.
That's normally for a dog, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, no, not technically. That's the magic word for Therion.
No, fair enough.
If you say that, he knows that he
No.
has to sit still for his medication.
No, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, you got it right.
So I do have a interesting picture up for David's character. For those of
I'll be
you-
sure to take absolutely no interest in how it may associate the character
So
and
that's the
completely
picture,
corrupt all concepts and pre-notions you had of this
That's
character.
very cool.
So Ariadna, what do you think of the picture?
Oh, really cool. I like this.
It's a lynx tiger cross barbarian.
So I will.
This is a samurai
Is the
space
look.
cat.
It's
So
a samurai space
if
cat.
you can sort of look at your screen, David, you can see the picture I dug out for you.
Yeah. He
Hang
looks
on a
like a
sec.
Viking, but is a samurai.
Sorry, I'm just looking
Samurai
myself
pizza
up,
cat.
so I've got my character stats available when.
Well, no, that's fair enough.
Do you like that picture?
That's pretty cool. Kind of looks like a dog.
I had you in mind when I saw that
dog.
picture.
Yeah.
I thought you would appreciate the design of it.
It is actually genuinely pretty badass.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. It looks really
And
good.
I'm going to be honest, you've influenced the character to make me play it less like an idiot dog.
Well,
now you have to live up to the cool.
so the
Yes.
there is a cat-like species on the world called the tabaxi that the Rakasta absolutely hate.
They are the idiot
Because
dogs.
that they call them the stupid cat folk of the setting that really need to be eliminated because most of them act like
Yeah,
house cats.
death to all
Well,
cat boys.
all of the art that I found for them was these are house cats in clothing.
Yeah.
That's the exact look. And
Whereas-
it didn't fit the description.
Whereas the Rakasta go from full-on lions to jaguars
Yeah.
to
They're
tigers
big cats.
to any even the small cats.
Yeah.
But they are also in size in comparison to them. So the lions are the larger versions of them.
Yeah.
The ones that look more like house cats are the small size ones, but they don't look tame.
No, they're obviously wild beasts. But yeah, you get the Palax cat, and that would be small sized, for example.
But yes, and they are a proud race who don't share their technology with other people because their religion forbids it.
Right.
For good reasons.
They understand the Prime Directives.
And actually follow it, unlike certain people.
Basically, they risk losing access to the technology themselves if they share it.
Well, that's fair enough.
They're dead, Jim.
Yes. On the other hand, if somebody sees what they've done and works it out themselves, there's nothing they can do about that.
Well, it's beyond other people's ability to replicate.
Even artificers.
Yes. Because they still have access to technology before it was mutated.
Right.
For them, it still works. For others, even if they were to replicate it completely, it will not work.
Although you could make it work using enchantments.
Yes, but then it wouldn't be the technology.
No, it'd be Magitech at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, which is fine.
And so magic can't shut it down.
Yes. On the other hand, putting it in a wall of ice would shut it down.
I was going to say, I got a 5-ball that says it could.
Yeah, well, there's that one as well.
You can destroy it, but you can't.
You can stop it moving, can't stop it working.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes.
Isildur, cast it into the fire.
And then someone says, "No, it's my precious." And yes, you are on the Isle of Dread, an island long forgotten, with places in there that people only talk about in Dread, which is where it got its name from. It is connected to all the elemental planes, including the Fey Dark and the Fey Wild.
Yeah.
And it is the home of dinosaurs, which can be found in the deserts of Yularum, because they exported them there before the nation was destroyed.
Yeah.
And then no one looked after them afterwards. So they still managed to survive in the deserts of Yularum without assistance, because they ate their handlers.
Yeah, food resource is a food resource.
While they're here, they are interested in reaching the center of the island, which has no connotations to the Hollow World yet, as far as they know.
Yeah, no, you haven't mentioned Hollow World as far as I can see here. Just all the portals in the Feywild.
And they have found that undead have started to congregate on one of the islands nearby.
Oh, okay.
Titans are birthed here from legend that they have just learnt.
Right.
And Drachnomir has been challenged to face one of the Titans and defeat it.
All the fun of personal quests.
If he wishes to, if he wishes the group to progress on the island.
But
So he's got to do it,
first-
so we can do things.
Well, if you want to go further on the island, he has to face it soon.
Well, the last thing I've got written down for last game is Calcrick starts her usual nightly prayers. Car, the preserver appears.
Yes.
And then in big highlighted circle, by doll. I don't know what the doll is. I can't remember what the doll is, but apparently I need to buy it.
I'm sure there are many different dolls that come in handy. Okay, so I'm just
We
going to
had
open
one
up
that was
a reference.
semi-possessed by Loki.
Yeah, well maybe that's a reference to that. As I said,
Maybe. Yeah.
You have
my
bought
memory
quite a
is a
few-
pit with which in I throw things and
yeah.
rarely things come out.
So, you have been introduced to someone known as Bob. Though every time they refer to him, they say known as Bob.
Known as Bob. Not
Yeah.
Bob, known as Bob.
Yes.
So here is known as Bob.
Yes. Bob is a weird name for someone with a cat mouth. It would sound strange.
Because apparently their language doesn't translate even to your abilities.
Okay.
And you find that odd.
That's really odd.
Which, again, as we referenced before, is exactly like the Welsh language.
Yeah. The thing is, I've got an ability which means I can understand language and names that some of the gods can't hear.
And yet it's still indecipherable.
And I
It's
still
almost as
don't
if it
get-
never meant anything to
And I
anyone.
still don't get your name. My own patron can't know some of the words that I know.
But you can't
So-
say his name.
And I can't determine his name from... Yeah.
It
That's
just
like
doesn't
Patron.
translate.
Some of the party members have gone through the process of not knowing their own name.
Well,
That's true.
Yes, but that was self-inflicted.
Poor Pettidier. Wait, who?
Yeah, that.
And so yes, you find it strange that their own discussions amongst themselves just sounds like growls and
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were camping with
That
the
is...
Bethesda.
I'm thinking seriously of using detect thoughts.
but you have learned
So-
that there are certain rules that the gods abide by,
Yes.
and magic doesn't work on these guys properly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a point, because if they're talking anything resembling techie stuff, I'm not going to pick it up.
You also don't have a frame of reference.
No, well, that's the other thing.
Yes, that's an interesting spell. Have you tried turning it off and on?
So yes,
You've got to reverse the polarity.
Well, I could actually turn.
Yeah.
I could actually turn my language abilities off and on. I would just have to drink enormous amounts of booze for a while.
Okay, so
I know a guy.
That's what I haven't done.
get drunk.
Yeah, well, technically I can't. But
So last session we ended with Calcrix about to talk to the dinosaur T-Rex god known as Carl the Preserver.
thus, Calcrix riding the T-Rex, Christmas Santa.
And yes, so you see this, I'd probably say very stylized T-Rex. He doesn't look like anything you've seen or read or heard about.
So, in terms of size, are we talking she's looking up at...
You're looking up.
So, she does what she always does. She whips out a cookie and holds it out to him. And
It's a
does
really
she know
big cookie.
who he is?
You have heard of Carl the Preserver. He's one of the eldest gods who remembers life.
Honourable Carl.
And for his level of power, that is quite rare. Very few who reach his height remember living as a mortal.
Yes.
Which is one of the few things that would render Calcrix speechless, which is why all she does is offer a cookie and says, Honourable Carl.
And in the dragon lore, it is believed that the dragons are partly descended from the dinosaurs as they are from the elves.
We got scales. We just developed wings and 4 feet instead of just wings or 2 feet. She thinks there's a logic there.
Which means your
It is
scales.
Calcrix.
Which means your scales are going to be similar to the scales on bird legs.
No,
Because
she's
those are
still
actually
a dragon.
Those are actually dinosaur scales.
She's still a dragon,
Yes, but
She-
what
she
I'm saying is your
evolved-
scales are actually different.
but
Yeah.
she's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yes.
And it says your prayers have been
Good.
answered.
Which prayers might that be? I pray for a lot of things.
Well, he looks at you with one eye because trying to look at you with both eyes was driving you a bit nuts. you are small enough that if he tries to look at you with both eyes, they don't seem to look clearly at you.
I will
he'd have to
accommodatingly sit to one side to make it easier.
He'd have to step back about 20 feet.
This is well demonstrated by our
Yes.
miniature here. But then Calcrix has kind of got the same problem.
So the amusing thing is with a T-Rex having eyes on the side of his head instead of in front, makes you ask, what predator was he looking out for?
Yeah.
Maybe it's for the velociraptors because they come in from 2 sides at once.
So, what does Calcrix?
Pray for? She prays that they actually meet their goals of trying to help the Rakasta find the other portals and the shrine, as it seems to be vital to our cause against stopping the Master from completely throwing out the balance of the world.
He seems to think for a moment and says, be careful what you wish for. And
Calcrix sits back and says, I take it from this comment that, like all things in life, this could go just as badly wrong as it could go right. Do you have any advice for me to avoid option 1?
he pauses again and says, anything that can be used against him can be used against you. Once unlocked, it cannot be relocked.
That makes sense. Oh, you've kind of got her there because if she's thinking very literally, like a key in a lock, she's like, yes. And in terms of what Drazzle does with changing time, but she understands the impact that has, and that it does have a ripple or a consequence to it. So she presumes that that's what Car means.
He does add for clarification that certain events cannot be changed. Once done, cannot be undone.
She understands that.
And that's the lock he refers to.
Yeah. If anything, travelling with my dear friend and sibling Drazzle has taught me, it's that there are certain irreversible points in life. Which is why I undertake this mission so seriously. I just pray that with the guidance of the gods that I follow and pray to, I will not stumble into one of these moments that's very negative in its consequence on the people I love and the world I care for.
And lastly, it adds up with you should receive his blessing once Dracnomir meets his challenge.
Is there any way I can help him reach that point? I'm really good at poking and being annoying.
He changes to the other eye and says, "Can you?" At which point you wake up.
Okay. What time of day is it?
It is middle of the night.
Calcrix goes to find Dracnomir.
Dracnomir is sleeping soundly.
Calcrix pokes him.
Oh dear.
And not lightly either. She pokes
You're
like
waking
a
up.
5-year-old at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, because you are a 5-year-old at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Dracnomir will awake quickly, alert quickly, as he prepares to take his watch.
As he wakes up, you hear a large beast in the distance howling.
And Calcrix says, Car the Preserver says you need to move your butt on the Fight and the Titan thing. That might be it.
I gotta say, it seems unlikely that you'd talk about Fight of the Titan because Dracnomir hasn't mentioned Fight of the Titan.
Yeah.
Because he'd interpreted the requirement to challenge the Titan or something. Okay, when we come across the Titan, I'll challenge it. But hey, the party doesn't need to know what's coming up.
Have you said all of that?
No, but I'm saying the fact that, Dracnomir has not mentioned anything about fighting a Titan.
Which is why he'd be surprised Calcrix mentions it.
Calcrix is now telling you in no uncertain terms what Car has passed on to her, which is you're moving too slow, you need to pick up the pace. Figure this out.
But they say the Car didn't mention the Titan to Calcrix either. He just said he's got to face his challenge.
Yes.
Yes, okay, fair enough. Do I get inherent knowledge of what that challenge is?
No.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm like, Car said that you've got a challenge to face, so you need to do that.
Indeed.
Which is fair enough.
What's the challenge? Calcrix sits in front of you you're not going to move her large ass dragon butt until she finds out.
Okay. You got my watch?
No, but there was a really big howl over there, so maybe we should go and figure out what that is. And being the practical person that I am, and as stubborn as I intend to be about pursuing him, I will shift out of the tent to see if I can see what the source of the howl is and see if the Rakasta are responding to this big howl.
Because what was the shelter that we're in tonight? Because we weren't in one of the natural phase shelters now, we're in a Rakasta one.
You're in one of the Rakasta tents that are not tents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The space tents.
Yeah, the huts.
Yeah. So the point is, can we get out of them ourselves?
Yes, the sides weren't closed in.
Okay, yeah.
You just can't move the fabric.
Yeah. So then, yeah, okay.
Visually, what does that look like?
It looks like an actual tent.
So it looks like a tent, but it just doesn't It's not
It's
fabric.
Not, it's not flexible.
Okay.
Yeah. Meow.
Yeah, well, Nimmer will step out then and try and investigate or determine how far away the howl might be and whether or not it represents a danger to the party in the current form or whether
At which point you find yourself running into two Rakasta. One of them points to you and says, they've assigned known as Bob to your expedition.
So is this our first time meeting known as Bob?
You have met known as Bob before, but he wasn't assigned to your group.
I see.
he was just part of the group of characters that we came across.
Most of them were known as something.
He was busy but elsewhere. Meow.
I look to known as Bob for
Michelle,
indication
please
of
to
what
have
we should do.
his company.
Known as Bob is serving penance at the moment.
I'm just going to quickly check.
See what
What's the matter?
little fluffy is
Just
talking about.
all litter.
Yeah.
And looking about,
Whatever
you
the
see
reason
that
he's coming with us, we'll be pleased to have the company.
So you see the rest of the Rakasta around you all have various metal weapons ready, but don't seem too worried at this time. You do remember you couldn't see their encampment from a distance.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, back then we're also working on the idea of, hey, it's a big island with big critters. A loud howl still be quite some distance away and not necessarily something we're dealing with, so...
Yeah.
Though you do hear a mutter from one of them saying they believe it's the heart of the island continuing to wake up.
Okay.
They're sure that you should be able to get by without dealing with it.
Well, so if it is the heart of the island waking up, then we're headed towards the centre, so I'm sure we'll find it if we need to. Or
Yeah.
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay, so they let you crawl back into bed at that stage
Oh, good.
because they seem to be busy keeping the place secure. You're not exactly sure how to fit in with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I expect that Nimmer might spend a little while just sitting outside thinking, how am I supposed to challenge a Titan, especially when I don't know where it is right now. The idea of speeding up the challenge, but okay.
Minor problems.
So he'll be stewing it over for a while and then crawl back into his swag later probably early hours of the morning.
Yeah.
And as you finish resting, you wake up and dawn has broken. Everything seems to be just quiet about it this time, with a bit of a hush around you as you see a bit of a morning fog.
So nothing came of the big howl?
Nothing came of the big howl.
Really? Seriously? There was a great big howl and just nothing.
Well, they don't go out at night.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Fair enough.
Yes. It was over there somewhere else. They're going to wait for it.
Okay, fair enough.
Even
Doing
the
things.
space cats don't like travelling at night.
Cow
Fair.
Creeks has had enough fun with dinosaurs.
They ask where you intend to go next.
Well,
Crazy.
our goal takes us to the centre of the island as we understand it, from the information we've had. So, your information about the other inhabitant or settlements in the island are certainly advantageous, and we will aim to avoid the denizens as much as possible.
So they do say that there are 3 main routes to the center of the island from where you are. There is north, east going through the swamps, north going through the jungle, or northwest heading up the ravine into the plateau itself.
Yeah.
It was too long to go around the tar pit. As long as we.
Well, you're already on the other side of the tar pit.
We're already past the tar pit.
Yeah, that's it.
But okay, what I was saying, that the swamps were to be avoided.
Yep.
Because it has a large
large
group
something
of predators in a pack.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
A pack of large-sized predators.
Yeah.
That's
what
right.
I was saying. Pack
Central
hunting predators.
jungle
Fun.
of the island.
Yeah.
Unlike the velociraptor attack you faced earlier.
Yes.
But if there is a ravine going through the mountains, then possibly that will be a easier path, if slightly less direct than directly northwards. Is that the case?
They do say that the ravine goes all the way to the western coast of the island. So you could almost head directly west and follow the coast around to the ravine. But that's completely up to you. It is the longest trek, but it might be the fastest to get to where you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also it's the one that's the easiest to avoid air traffic embarrassment. Because you basically walk westward following the sun until you run to the sea, and then walk along the coastline until you come to the ravine, and then follow the ravine for the centre.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what we planned.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds right.
Though none of their expeditions to the centre of the island have ever returned.
Yes, that did get mentioned, but
which is why they've sent with you known as Bob.
Because he knows how to get there and we know how to get us back.
Well, if you survive to get there and back, then he'll be able to lead the rest of them in.
Yes.
That's right. If we've not known as Bob with us, it takes us trying to report back directly to them as to...
Yeah.
We then provide information about the islands that they've explored. We won't necessarily need to explore and tell them what we've explored afterwards.
Yes.
But do they have any knowledge of the pathway west of here to the coastline?
It is full of jungles and random monsters, they say. It is a
murder.
It is a murder field, yes.
Yeah.
At least they say you're not attacked by the tree monkeys.
Yes, the Fenatron.
They never said we were getting that.
The monkey raccoon people.
Yes, we did meet them once. A fight did not ensue.
Well, they did shoot at you.
Yeah, it wasn't really a fight. They were surprised. And did Sentinelese impressions.
So
a
did
stranger,
you
I will
say
shoot it.
we're going through the ravine that's full of giant-sized werecrocs, or we're going through a different ravine?
No, that's the ravine.
Okay,
Oh,
all right.
fun.
Just a reminder, folks, that ravine's full of giant-sized werecrocs.
But from the Rakasta perspective, that's the safest way in.
Which says something, yes.
They are quite delicious.
You have a recipe. This is the first step.
It's called mock croc soup.
Mock crocs.
Generally, they are better fresh, like a sushi type.
Of course. What about, is it tempura? You could do that.
No, not tempura. That's a finish.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sounds like some sort
there
of
you go.
foreign
How's
nonsense
that
to
for me being
me.
completely...
There's only one way to eat it. Fresh and
I
raw.
could be using the wrong word.
Potentially,
And then there's tiramisu.
as a copyright infringement,
I know,
briefly.
yeah.
just get attached to the bathroom before you head off. And you can have each have known as Bob introduce himself.
Known as Bob is going to introduce himself. Alrighty.
Why would I introduce myself to you when you should all introduce yourself to me?
I'm going to introduce myself, and then the rest of us to you, giving both name and title. Or rank.
So are you going to give him that whole spiel, and is he going to go to sleep?
No. This is an introduction. Sorry, it's an informal introduction. It's not an introduction at court.
Oh.
Midway through you introducing Jeremy's character, Bob coughs up a hairball.
I am going to professionally ignore that.
Well, you may call me Bob. My real name is Indecipherable Word.
I was going to call you Bob the Indecipherable.
Yeah. Very well. Bob, it is. Thank you for giving us the use name.
Yes.
That is a scary item. I just saw the title of a mechanical beholder.
Once introductions are made, I say, hey guys, while I was having my prayers last night, I was visited by Car the Preserver, who gave me some very interesting information, even though it's kind of obvious. Those 5 portals that can only be activated simultaneously, that we were looking at whether or not we wanted to activate simultaneously, he kind of said that once we unlock some things, they cannot be relocked, and that may have grave consequences for our mission. So we may want to do some more research before we unlock those portals.
Definitely research then.
And then I ask Bob, known as Bob, does he know anything about these portals and what Car the Preserver might mean in terms of precautions we might have to take in terms of whether or not we should open it or not open it and that sort of thing.
The answer you get is no.
Okay. I was hoping for at least a knowledge roll or something.
Nimmer will be trying to catch up with Kelkrit later in the day. We're travelling along past stuff.
Yeah.
And quietly mentioned the idea of, with Car specifically referring to the 5 items we were looking to collect, or considering our current location, you certainly was not a reference to.
It could have been a reference to the sextant map deal. It could be a reference to the portals.
Okay, he's got a reference to the portals that the battery were apparently trying to find on this island.
You mean the Rakasta, because the Rakasta would be abhorred by the fact that you just called them Tabaxi.
No. These are the battery that would hate to be called Rakasta.
I know the Rakasta dislike the Tabaxi because they think the Tabaxi are the idiot offspring.
Idiot dogs, yeah. Or idiot cats, for lack of a better term.
Bob raises an eyebrow.
I had the other way around in my head.
Because the Rakasta are the original cat people of this setting. The Tabaxi were introduced in 5e, really. Or they do have some of them in older versions, but they were always simplistic cat folk.
So what?
Martin, what am I?
You are a Rakasta, which is a spacefaring people who colonize the hidden moon of this planet.
And have a samurai-like culture.
Yeah.
Does samurai space cat?
Yeah. Okay.
I prefer the term samurai pizza cat.
Yes, well.
Well, it can be samurai pizza space cat.
I'm kind of surprised that with the croc recipe it wasn't like, a pizza type deal, but...
I gave you the best combination, not every combination.
Fair enough.
Well, you could be a teenage version of that. Could be worse.
No, don't do that to us. Look, no. We've got enough teenagers in this party. And he tends to make wishes that cause us all to be drunk until we drop dead from dancing.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Calcrix.
No, I was talking about
Another teenagers in the party.
Calcrix is officially an adult now. And even though she is still very childlike in many ways, she is capable of being serious at times. Although not according to
That's
some of
right.
these comments here.
Jack never looked upon all of you as being teenagers, even though he's the youngest of the group.
Yes, I know that. Old man. So, in response to your question, Draknima, Calcrix does adopt a serious thing. She's like, there are quite a few things he could be referring to. He could be referring to this magical map that we've got some of the pieces for, of which none of the 5 pieces should be put together at the same time, or it will end the world. Or these
We
5...
should do that.
Pardon?
We should do that.
Well, we don't have all the pieces yet, so kind of lucky. Can't follow through on that impulse. Yet. I have a feeling, though, that at least half the party will do exactly that as soon as we do.
You say impulse, I say science.
Yes.
And Jack never thinking, I begin to understand why Nonos was obstinate.
Yes.
Nice. And the rest of my answer is it could also be these portals that we're talking about. Or it could be also the generic warnings that gods give us all about being wary of the consequences of what we seek and wish for. Because they all seem to give these sorts of warnings. And I roll my eyes upwards and nudge Luel, because I'm fairly sure out of all of us, he's going to be the one that will most understand.
Yes. A reasonable assumption. I don't know how true it's going to be, but it's a reasonable assumption.
You're talking to someone who feels somewhat cursed to be a half dragon at the moment.
Yeah,
Thanks to the gods.
I figure you'd understand too, which is kind of one of the reasons I made the comment.
Yes.
What's this challenge that Car wants you to face? Because he sounded like it was pretty kind of urgent.
Yeah.
Can I...
It's to be faced as soon as we come across it, or as soon as I come across it. But like I said, at this stage, we're heading in the right direction from what I understand.
Right.
What kind of role would I do if I wanted to try and figure out if Draknima was right in this assumption, or whether or not it's something that I fear if we neglect it too much longer, or we just wait for it to come along, it may not end as well for us? Would that be an insight roll, or...
Probably more religion, because
A
you're trying to
religion roll?
determine science and portents.
Who gets to give me my first disappointment of the day?
Whichever
I'll
dice you
pick
touch
you!
first.
Just don't use the D6.
Ooh, actually, low expectations of your dice turn out well. That's a 19.
Nice.
So what's
Plus, was it 8, 10?
that? What do I roll religion?
You can't be disappointed if you never expect anything.
I used to have a t-shirt that said exactly this thing.
Yes, that works on wisdom.
My wisdom's not bad, it's +4. So that would...
And you do have it trained?
Do I have proficiency?
You are proficient in it.
So that
There you
is another +4, I think?
Yes.
Which makes it +8, and if my math is working,
27.
I think it's like 27.
Okay, you think it's partly between urgency and timing, because most prophesized events happen because they have to, and forcing them can turn out just as badly as avoiding them.
In which case, I'm not going to prod anymore. I feel just mentioning it is enough. But I will take a wait and see sort of, if it looks like it's taken a lot longer, I might mention it again. But for now...
Did somebody say
Calcrix
something
is
about
happy.
prophecy?
Yes.
Yes.
We do live in an age of prophecy at the present time.
Yes.
The
Prophecy
world
was
is
mentioned.
changing.
The world never changes. This is these people, these ants that walk upon it. They just look. Everything looks different to them.
Calcrix kind of gives Bob a confused look and says, "How does the world look to you?"
Usually very small.
Considering that I do know that these are spacefaring cats from my previous voyage, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I get that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Today, though, it does appear quite large.
Did you
Well,
say,
you're closer.
does it appear quite large?
No, I said today. It does
Today.
appear quite large. I guess
Proximity.
that's what people and natives do to see, I guess. Everything in the day they're in is the biggest thing around them when there's somebody always looking down, thinking just how small.
We are always the ant to everybody else's giant.
I prefer to be the boot.
Calcrix makes a conscious effort to just
They're always
step
going
just
bigger.
a little bit away.
Yeah. I'm
Just-
going to leave
she-
this guy alone.
She just doesn't want to get underneath the boot, even though she's
Yeah.
probably larger than the Ricasta. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. What's...
He's about human size.
The Ricasta is about human size, so you're bigger
Yeah.
than the
Yeah,
Ricasta.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll still...
Does our
You're still about
Ricasta take a tiger melt with him?
Kitty cat.
It's like you never why would you even ask that if that was an option?
Well, you could have a panther too. Pick one.
So you've basically got a saber-toothed tiger with you.
Okay.
And
Yes, I'm
what,
very upset about that.
and what do you call your saber-toothed tiger?
Bill.
Okay, so as you're
So,
heading through the hills, you receive a sending from your people.
Ascending.
Yep.
So it's
Ascending
like
as well.
com
Yeah.
starts making noises.
As a visual message appears that everyone seems to be able to see.
Cool.
Unfortunately, the language on there is
Layers.
very hard for most people to identify.
Yes.
And what you see on there appears to be a dire T-Rex.
That's either car or just one freaking big T-Rex.
A dire T-Rex? That's
Yes.
not car. That's a dire
No.
T-Rex.
Yeah. Oh, true. Car's a
Yes.
normal size.
He's not dire or anything.
No.
Moving through a group of small trees, showing pictures of it, and whatever's taking the pictures of it gets squished by one of the feet.
How poetic.
Yes.
So.
Dinobots, transform and roll out.
In which case, shouldn't it be called Grimlock?
Where's that image come from? Well,
Godzilla.
Notes say that it comes from the to the west of you, about 2 days' travel,
Okay.
and
Where we're
the
travelling right now.
and the
north?
height of the trees it was towering over were listed at 200 feet in height.
Wow.
Look, Drachnema, your challenge.
exactly. We're travelling in the right direction.
Yes. So we keep going that way.
Well, if that's your challenge, it has been nice knowing you.
Oh, we've survived certain death before.
I feel like this is a point where Drachnema should go, my challenge, our challenge. You know, we always work together as as a group, right, guys?
I am feudalistic, not communistic.
And the text for David's perspective is it refers to it as the avatar of a titan.
Yeah,
Calcrix wants to make friends.
it's our third Titan.
No, it's not a titan. It's an avatar.
It's an avatar of a
Titan.
titan.
Well, sorry. It's the third avatar. Sorry, it's the third Titan we're going to interact with, even if only indirectly in this case.
So it's like when you have the baby krakens, they are considered the avatar of the kraken until they grow.
Calcrix and
What
Pete
is-
start having a conversation in gibberish about what kind of coffee we think that the avatar of the titan will like.
But it's still up to David whether he tells you people that, because
Oh, okay.
That guy, from our perspective, he's still the Titan.
I will retract my
Because we
enthusiastic
I
response.
looked out from above and think, hang on, there were different sizes of Titan.
Yes.
So, this is interesting. This is an avatar of a titan.
Oh.
I unretract my enthusiastic response.
You reproject it on everyone. It sprays everywhere.
Not quite like that.
Well, Avatar.
Which
does
one of you
make-
wants to fight this thing?
Well, it cracked him his job.
I want to make friends with it.
Good luck.
Yes. Although being an Avatar means it's likely to be far more beatable than its parent Titan.
Martin, what's the difference between a normal T-Rex and a dire T-Rex? Like in terms of
size,
visually,
strength,
it's-
dangerousness.
Did you say it was decaying?
No.
No. Okay.
It was something else. No, the only thing it doesn't change is their intelligence rate.
Okay, so it's just
Everything else is bigger numbers.
everything's just bigger numbers. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It also looks more dangerous.
Yes. Spiky bits.
So it's kind of like when they show you werewolves and they got like round red eyes, and then dire werewolves have got like the really slanted wicked ones.
That's got spikes.
You should put that on camera. That's pretty mean.
Hard to put on camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a shame. Because
Well, you
that's
Actually,
pretty awesome.
Martin, pick this one
I'd
up.
rather not reference
point
my
out.
computer on camera.
Well, no, that's fair enough. It's perfectly reasonable.
Those people online can have it described to them until I need to show them.
Yes.
Okay, so you've
was
been
just
told
about
it's
to
about 2 days'
transform.
journey to the west,
Hmm.
and to get there you have to pass through a jungle.
Only one. Okay.
Well, we were having gone around the tar pit. I think we had been travelling through jungle a bit before we found the having on.
You had passed through
Oh
some.
no, we're going through hills at that point, weren't we?
You found the Rakasta in the hills, but you travelled through jungle when you went through the wall to the tar pit.
Yeah.
Although we had at least a vague trail we were following at that point.
I feel like this travel
Because
montage. Sorry,
we're
Jeremy.
likely to be trackless. Certainly, the intent will be to go, westwards. Jack Nemo is happy to take the lead on that sort of idea. Depending upon how dense and thick the jungle is, particularly above us.
Yeah.
I expect it will require at least every hour or so a climb up a tall tree to confirm that, hey, yep, sun's there, yep, we're still going west, okay.
Calcrix could find a slightly clearer spot and just do a low flight hover above the tree line
Yes.
and save you all the climbing. Unless you want to keep fit.
You still would be worried about flying in this region.
I've just been a low, not going above, but just sort of getting a look-see. Because I know
it's the
flying
sort of thing
above
that,
the canopy is not a good idea.
It's certainly happy for Calcrix or others to fly up and do it. Hey, technically he can fly up and do it in those sort of times as well, but Jack Nimmer would still be keen to actually get to the spot where you can see a bit further each time, like every so often. just to confirm his bearings and
So
take a look around to see if everything's good.
once you step into the tree line of the jungle, this part of the jungle, you can't see the tops of the trees.
Ah, okay. Well, in that case,
Mm-hmm.
Nick's
The trees
on the
just seem
line.
to keep going up.
Yeah.
Is
These are the
this
ones that
an
don't think-
effect of the Feywild?
Give me a Arcana check.
The dice are going to prove me wrong tonight, or at least so far.
Well, you didn't say it was going to roll badly.
Arcana. Where is my Arcana?
It is normally plus
Proficiency +4, +6. Did you say?
plus
So
6 in total.
25.
Okay, so as you look at it, you do think that climbing a tree might take you between the real world and the Feywild.
In which case, considering our conversation about occasionally climbing a tree to see further of you, I advise Drachnima not to. Unless he wants to enter the Feywild. In which case, we should all go together.
You think you're at one of the closest points that you can jump between worlds.
Oh, that's so tempting.
But from your conversations with Drazzle, you could even jump between timelines.
Let's not.
Still tempting, but
Which
not.
means you may not actually find your way back to the time you left.
No.
We'd need to be able to navigate.
I'm joking with the tempting thing. I'm not actually tempted at all
it's-
because
No, I'm tempted. But
I'm not.
we have no way to navigate. So
You
it
do
would be
believe that
foolish.
if you find all the 5 parts of the map,
We can.
you
Yeah.
can.
Yes. Well, given what this map is already doing, then yes, being able to control it, yes, we'd be able to navigate time. That's just such a nice idea.
Could I have the food, please?
So you want food, or would you like snacks?
Food, no
Okay.
snacks.
Yes. Could I have some nuts, please?
Yeah, I was just about to get nuts.
Cool. Thank you.
I mean, the other point then is, okay, if they're not going to be climbing trees, it's a fixed option. The idea is, okay, is the canopy of the forest actually blocking the height of the sky?
No, you just look up and you see green. You don't actually see
Right.
the sky.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost as if you're looking up at the ground, which you have
Yep.
feelings of in the hollow world.
Do not dare mention that name.
Just it doesn't look like the hollow world because you've been there.
Yes.
His character has, as has yours.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of areas in the hollow world.
Yes, but none of
But the idea of looking up to see the ground
we
is
see.
common throughout the hollow world.
Yeah, I know. But the
Just
shape
normally it's a lot further away.
yes, but the shape of the ground is different.
You normally see the curvature off into the distance going up, not
Yeah.
the ground above you.
It's the sun's in the way.
Yep.
Well, okay, certainly, Dracula would be confident that, hey, we can walk in a westerly path fairly confidently, keep track of which side the moss on the trees type stuff is on, all that kind of bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So the sun seems to
It
be
just means
consistent.
that it just means you can't to get the aerial view to try and pick out better pathways.
Though known as Bob does find that his auto-directional compass doesn't seem to work here.
This is an odd place.
Yes, the strong connection to the Feywild and other places is making it very, very weird.
So whichever direction known as Bob faces, his compass says it's north.
I've never known North to be so
Obvi-
fickle.
Obviously, you're at the South Pole.
I doubt that very much.
Well, your compass certainly thinks so.
Instrumentation is known to malfunction and cause
Yes.
to be a problem.
Yes. Especially when in contact with the Feywild.
Yes, especially when I continually get bothered by
Yeah.
people telling me what my instruments say. But let us continue and observe this anomaly.
Yes.
Okay, so as you're walking,
No.
you realize that the light is not changing as you travel.
Mm-hmm.
You're not actually
That's-
getting the light change that you're used to.
Is it doing the sort of late afternoon lighting?
It's doing almost
That's
midday
not
lighting.
Almost midday. Okay, so it's not quite the same as the Feywild.
The firewall changes.
But it's very like Hollow
Yeah, true. Yeah, well, yeah. Feywild's normally sort of, it's a summer afternoon.
Whichever part you're in, it
So-
can actually change.
Yeah.
It normally doesn't change in the zone you're in, but each zone can have a different time of day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll change, but not while you're there.
And some will change
Sometimes.
constantly while you're there. So as you take a step, it might go from light to dark.
Hmm.
And it might be light for you and dark for someone else.
That gets even more fun. Makes combat a bit of a bastard.
So you're not quite sure what time of day it is because none of your instruments or your magic that tells you what time of day it is seems to change.
Okay. Well, okay. Academic certainly at this stage, curious at the phenomenon that he's walking through, but
Yeah.
is he still confident that he's we're walking in the westerly direction? 30 on survival. So
You believe you have not changed direction, though you believe you may be walking between planes.
Right.
Well, can I say, or equally 30 on nature with a different, like I say, have you rolled a 17 and then a 19? Okay.
Fair enough.
So as you walk, you seem to realize that it's getting brighter with what you'd assume to be every hour's walk. And the sun seems to be angling towards where you're going.
It is the intent. So,
Which means the sun... It's slowly setting, but not as fast as you'd expect it to.
Yeah.
Well, we're just walking westwards really fast.
Yeah. Obviously.
Okay, so we're keeping the sun at the midpoint of the sky.
Right.
Yeah. Are we feeling the effect of several hours of riding / travelling, walking?
You are. You're definitely feeling the effects of the travel.
Okay.
And you're starting to feel the negative effects of long travel as well.
Okay.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Was the thought of if we're realising that, okay, whilst apparently the sun isn't moving as fast as expected, we're still getting tired after 8 actual hours of travel.
Yeah. Effort and duration, even if not time.
That's right. In which case then, then we'll certainly be looking out for any evidence of a better campsite, overnight location, or rest stop location, considering it probably won't be overnight by the way we're going at the moment.
Yeah. Do you remember that I've got the tower, so we can use that if we don't find any natural lockup.
Yep. And like I say, certainly,
How tall
just
is
like
the
that,
tower?
objective, but doesn't really look about that sort of stuff. It's a case of he's looking for the natural facility. But obviously, if we haven't found something suitable after people start getting particularly tired, then I wouldn't be surprised if we will think, we're stopping right here.
Yes.
Having found out from either the tribesmen or whoever we found out about the little savannah circles being like rooms of requirement, Calcrix, once she starts feeling tired, and I'm fairly certain, considering that she's a large dragon, she would probably be the one with more stamina the most. So once she's feeling tired, it's getting towards the end of the day.
First level of fatigue is you cannot spring.
She starts thinking about where that room of, or that camp of requirements going to show up. and hopes to see one soon.
Yes.
But also remember that, like I said, I actually found for the last week or so that we've been travelling through and finding that the camp requirement each time, they appear at sunset and open up again at sunrise.
Yeah, but as you said, the sun's slowly lowering towards sunset, even if it's taking longer than we'd expect.
The light is getting brighter, and
it's getting brighter.
And it seems to be coming from the west instead of.
So everything seems to be reversing.
Yeah.
I see. Sorry.
So it's like the sun setting, but instead of getting darker, it's getting brighter.
Okay.
That sounds very Feywild.
Yeah, it does sound very Feywild. Do I need to roll another thingamajiggy to see if I can interpret what's going on?
Okay, so I will give each of you a religion roll if you'd like to take it.
I swear that's a 19, third 19 in a row.
Nice.
There are days that the dice will not fail, and there are days that the dice will never
I'm
succeed.
starting to think this one might be loaded though. It's a new one. I can't remember where I got it from.
Probably from me.
No, I actually have a feeling that Mark might have given it to me. But my memory's giving me a great big blank hole whenever I try.
Well, just make sure I don't touch it then. It seems to suck all the luck out of it.
No. So religion was it plus 8?
It was plus 6 for you.
Plus 6?
No, plus 8, sorry.
Yeah,
plus 8.
I got a total 21.
So another 27.
How about Jeremy and David?
24 for Bactima.
Look, Bob is not one of the religious sort of orientation.
That guy.
I presume it's religion of technology. But 4 probably matches a religion of
Well,
technology.
the Space Cats do have a pantheon.
Do they? What's the pantheon?
All the feline gods.
Yeah, Baston and...
led by Garfield.
Yeah,
But
Garfield.
they probably still work on the idea of religion, the idea of the masses.
Awfully unfond of Mondays.
I do remember my hopeful wishes when I had bunny slippers as a kid of chucking them both in the closet and under the bed, and they did not multiply.
Damn.
And I was sorely disappointed.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, so
Don't blame you.
you do get stories that you remember of a avatar known as Gishath, who the closer you got to it, the brighter the day got, no matter where you were or when you were.
Okay.
And that the light would seem to come from it instead of from the sky.
So can you spell that god's name, please?
Gishath.
A-T-H. So they are so bright they obscure the natural light of the sun.
No, they are the embodiment of the sun.
They are the embodiment of the sun.
Or to be more true, they're the avatar of the dinosaur that is the embodiment of the sun. But that's extra words.
Say that again just so that my brain can process that.
They are the avatar of the dinosaur that is the embodiment of the sun.
So it's kind of like when the Titans have children. Alright.
It is rumored that if you were to kill the embodiment of the sun would then come and strike you down.
As well, it probably should.
Which for some of you means maybe the god Ixion will show up, because he is also known as the sun god.
Isn't Ixion my old friend Cheval's god?
Not known for having a sense of humour.
No. So, as far as Calcrix is concerned, she's more than happy to avoid them.
And he is one of the gods that has been a god for so long, he has no touch with mortality.
Yeah, that matches with what she learned from Cheval too. So we can determine that from that knowledge that we're getting closer to possibly where this avatar might be.
Well, the avatar is said to pretty much be a plane of existence itself.
Okay, that's a little bit daunting.
As when you see something bright in the distance, you see that all the trees around you have shrunk. You can now see the treetops.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Shrunk, or have we just moved to an area with smaller trees?
Looking up one moment, taking a step and looking up the next, it's different.
Okay, yeah, they've changed size.
It was cross-planed.
Yeah, that's also possible.
You're used to some of the effects of planar travel by now, and you realise you definitely have crossed into a place other than Mystara.
Mm-hmm.
You may actually even be in the sun of Mystara for all you know.
And I don't have anything to... Actually, I could actually find out where we are. I would have to be willing to use a commune, and that has issues.
You'd most likely commune with whoever's in charge of this domain.
That's one of the issues. Because last time I did that, I spoke to Loki.
Well, you did call on the gods in Loki's house.
Yes, I know.
He doesn't have a temple, he has a city.
Yes.
And his city keeps getting destroyed. He's happy with that.
Fire and mischief.
Dressel's with us?
He is.
Does Dressel look worried?
Dressel's got his book out and he's writing. He's probably writing what not to do next time.
Can I look over and see if I can read what Dressel's writing?
And I have no idea where we are. It's in his book. We have not been here before.
Calcrix goes, this will be new for you then.
He gives you a thumbs up.
She's like, I'm going to draw some pictures.
Speculative perspective, well, we're still headed in the right direction, apparently.
Cool.
What's up?
Having apparently changed over, I'm guessing we're still feeling tired.
You are still feeling tired.
It is definitely going to be time to rest very soon.
You can always go
I
now.
know. Calcrix looks over to Bob and tells Bob to tell Bill to stop meowing so much.
Well, Bill wants a nappy nap and you're interrupting him.
If Therion is Bill's representation here, he just wants attention while he wriggles on the ground.
Yes, but if that's Bill's issue, probably a good idea to find somewhere to put down a little tower and have a bit of a camp.
Yeah, I ask everyone else are they feeling tired at the moment and should we have a rest?
Everyone has one level of exhaustion.
So yes.
In which case,
One level of exhaustion doesn't stop you being able to do stuff.
It does
It
give you a
just
penalty.
It just stops you from being able to sprint, that's all.
Yeah. It's a small penalty, but it's a penalty.
Calcrix asks if people want to have a rest. Because she's feeling pretty tired.
Yes, and I have our...
And she's hyped up on coffee.
Yes, I have the party tent.
Okay, well, Jack Dimmock's been spending the last hour or two of travel looking around for a good place to camp.
Yep.
And hey, we've now found a better clearing space in the forest.
And you see that ahead of you there seems to be a clearing.
Cool.
Is it kind of like the circular requirement resting type spots? Or?
Hard to tell, it's just very bright in that spot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's obviously deliberately marked. Let's go ahead and check it out. If it's
Yep.
one of the camp spots, we'll use it. If not, we've got my tent.
Okay, let's go have a look.
Okay.
I would not be expecting one of the campsites here.
No, but it is possible. If not, we've just got a nice spot to put the tent down.
Without necessarily damaging any trees,
That's right.
may be advantageous.
Yes.
But Jack Dimmock will be approaching cautiously.
Yes.
As close as the clearing was, it takes you about an hour to reach it.
That's all good. I'll have a cookie and offer other people cookies.
And as you see the edge of the forest, you see the biggest feathered reptile you've ever seen.
Is this our dire dinosaur or just a feathered reptile?
It does look like the sending that known as Bob received.
Yep.
Ah, okay. Does it look
And
angry?
it's looking directly at you through one of its eyes.
Does it
Reminds
look-
you of how Carl was looking at you.
Yes.
Does it look angry or just ambivalent?
Unlike any of the other dinosaurs you have seen, this one looks intelligent.
Oh.
Calcrix wants to offer coffee.
And the
And a
look, the
cookie.
look of it is sizing each of you up.
Calcrix does what she usually does, which is wave and Jazz wing. And Eek follows and Jazz leaves.
Yes. With you around, none of the rest of us need to hide behind him.
Bob's hair stands on end. He looks a little bit fluffier.
Yeah.
Dracnima will step forward
Carry on.
into the clearing
Come on. Settle.
and
No.
greetings, Kika. I am Dracnima.
Okay, so as you say that, the you get that far before the
it got to be the challenge.
Yes.
so before you get too far
I
into
have
the
noticed
introduction, it turns and bellows in your direction. Its teeth are bigger than you are,
Wow.
and you feel your whole body get windswept behind you with the with just the bellow itself. Your ears sort of don't work for a little bit afterwards.
Calcrix is like, he must be hungry, offer him food. I have cookies.
Unfortunately, he might want to Dracnima.
Challenges don't have to actually be actual physical fights.
That's
they
true.
could be a challenge
Well,
of the
that-
mind.
That's certainly what Dracnima was aiming for. But and on that
I would
line,
suggest
I just
no
want to
aiming for
double
chess.
check.
Challenge you to a game of cards.
Solitaire.
Yeah.
Jim Rumley?
It was actually something that
I don't know how to play Jim Rumley. It's probably not a good choice for me.
It's actually pretty simple, but you'd have to learn. Yes.
I've heard of it a lot, but
Yeah.
Go pit.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
I like the Go Fish one.
Yeah. I used to do horrible things playing generally.
Kind of want to ask, but we're in mid-game, so I probably shouldn't.
You would have to know at least some of the rules to understand the
Yep,
reference.
we are mid-game. Let's talk about the game we're playing.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not going to teach someone how to play a game of cards just to get a to
So
make
it
a joke.
has bellowed at Dracnima. How does Dracnima respond?
I'm actually just going to look through because I was looking at like items just at the start of the game, and I think there was something about the idea of one of the items gave me the opportunity to bellow particularly loudly in response. Because obviously it would be quite I don't expect it to be loud and fierce, but I think hey, it's probably the appropriate response if I can find. There it is, yes. No, that requires attunement for the one of the rings I haven't attuned. So, yes, it's actually project your voice out for feet. So,
Carry on.
So if you see on screen, Jeremy,
joy.
so you're about the size of the little ones with the yellow feathers.
in the bottom right.
Okay, I was expecting that they would also be still large, so therefore we're smaller than them, but hey.
That's something.
Technically,
They're diatromers.
yeah.
So yeah.
Question.
We come up to his toe
what's-
knuckle.
What's Calcrix's size? Is it like barely bigger than the little yellow feather thing?
Calcrix would probably reach about the first joint at the foot.
Both of those things together is used.
So
Yeah,
about there where that
Yeah.
plus sign is.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what I was thinking.
Plus add tail. Add a tail length.
Understand the effect.
Yeah.
Go ahead, David.
Well, or probably.
Were you saying something?
Or
Oh,
something
no,
about
it's being ignored. It's fine.
Okay. Sorry, I just heard some talking in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dracnima, having the war's gone past him, he's way back as the yellow went by, and then he will step forward and continue the introduction of first. Greetings, Yuka. My name is Nima. I have been sent by Atruaghin and Pearl to provide you talent.
Okay, so
And
give me
talent I shall.
give me a knowledge nature for Drachnomy.
So what were you saying?
14 plus 11, but 25.
The Hatman.
Okay,
The
so
Hatman. Yeah.
from what you remember, the stories of this, because he is in your tribal legends, you need to be able to speak with. Sorry, just one conversation at a time. You need to be able to speak with animals to be able to convey messages to him.
You do
Okay.
have speak with animals.
I do have speak with animals. I will check that is.
I'll catch you. I'll
Just
write
with
this
one.
up a note to ask you about it.
Okay, so back to the ring that I was looking at to find out what it is at the opportunity to speak loudly. But he's not attuned to it, but he can do use a charge unattuned to activate speak with animals. And it's the kind of thing that, yes, if the company guys looking at thinking, hang on, is he an animal or is he a god? And therefore the effect of if he's quiet or if he's aware of it, he'll activate the charge before continuing the statement and Helen that to hear to face.
Okay, so
I wonder how to go with a DC 13. I've tried the character animal friendship.
well, you can try if you like. It may work.
I don't necessarily think it's all that valuable right now because.
No, I don't know. Making friends does definitely help.
So, yes, you get your greeting off with that. I'm going to give you a skill check. So, what skill would you like to do to open negotiations with the Sun's avatar?
Well, noting, like, my initial thought would have been religion, because probably it's like an avatar, or we're going through it, but noting that technically this avatar is still an animal and representative of therefore nature,
And
we will go with nature.
You do believe that some of the lost tribes of Atruaghin did worship the dinosaurs as their ancestral animals.
Mm-hmm.
But they died off long
But
ago.
yes, that's that. Unless I was to go down the pathway of animal handling itself.
I'll go on ride the dire Tyrannosaurus Rex.
We're all the same, so.
Let this be the game where you ride the T-Rex.
Hey, you ain't no T-Rex.
No, this is a Z-Rex.
Sure, it's not the capital T-Rex.
Actually, that would be very
Like, a normal T-Rex might be the sort of creature that's actually knocked down on its side. Obviously not T-Rex on its side, but actually probably be parasited.
Yeah, it does look like a carnosaur, and yeah.
16, 27 on a nature check to Talon Gishat.
Ganesh?
And
Oh, Gishat.
the
No, what do I?
Gishath does respond by calling you child of the Atruaghin.
Yes.
It accepts your challenge.
A proud Atruaghin pleased to meet the ancient totem.
And as it roars again in your face, you get the understanding that it's greeting you as your ears pop quite a few times in the greeting.
So it's a bit like the dire wolf version of a chihuahua. He barks at you an awful lot.
Well, you would think the dire wolf version of him would be a lot. The dire T-Rex version of him would be a lot smaller. He just is what most people would expect a dire T-Rex to look like.
Yeah.
So he's just meeting your expectations.
Yep. Yes, David?
Bob throws a small rock at him, at his foot.
Okay. So Bob gets to make an attack roll with the small rock.
Well, that's a roll of 17.
Roll of 17. Okay, you throw the rock. It hits the side of his foot.
But it does hit him.
It does hit him. And you see the rock sort of crumbles as it hits him.
Hang on a second. I just need to make a will save to avoid chasing the rock because it's a toy. It.
Oh dear. I get the
I
feeling
said
that
it,
this is
so I
the
have to
whole
do it.
reason he threw the rock.
Probably.
I said it, so I have to do it. Bob chases after the rock for a brief moment while it hits, once it hits the T-Rex, and then stops as it dissolves away.
On all fours?
Maybe. I rolled a 1.
On all fours.
And then he feels ashamed of himself for jumping into his base nature that he so despises in the Tabaxi.
He was honouring Bast.
Yes.
Yes. That doesn't mean he doesn't feel shame for it.
Aww. One shouldn't feel shame for honouring one's gods.
Well, it's like when Calcrish gets distracted by a shiny. Calcrish does feel a bit of shame sometimes.
Oh yeah, she definitely feels like she should be grown up by now, and why isn't she grown up by now?
And so the next thing Gishas says to Dracnomir in Roars is, what is his challenge?
A bake off.
God, that's not a word.
So to everyone's, it looks like a very aggressive roars from a gigantic dinosaur.
The start of like the Transformers movie where I think it's Starscream meets Widwicky and he's like, "Are you Lucifer through one side?"
Yeah. I definitely think that's it.
Yes, Barricade really did do the rear.
Barricade, yeah.
Now, technically, Dracula's roaring back, apparently, we had the growls and grunts and bits and pieces.
For those of us who do have speak with animals naturally, can we understand the conversation?
If you've got it going naturally, yes, you do get some understanding.
I might, actually.
Or it might be your
So
druid
I've got a ring.
You got a ring, then
Yeah.
you might have to activate it.
Um,
So what you're looking at, what does Jeremy issue as his challenge? You can have that while I think about it.
Yeah, that guy. That doesn't mean anything really came to mind. It's,
Yeah.
the
I think I can actually do that.
your influence on our world, the island from which we've travelled, is becoming disturbing. You are coming too close. We require travel to your world to challenge you and
Try not to die.
to face you in your own domain to to direct you that you must step back, or the world will not be there for your light to shine upon.
He does pause for a little bit. Doesn't seem to take it very well.
Mm-hmm.
And he does say, it is not its light that shines upon your world, but that which it represents that shines upon your world.
Right.
Yeah,
If
but,
the further it is from your world, the less light your world will receive. It only receives
And
light because it is close.
we certainly need and desire for light to remain. But if the light gets too close, it burns. Your presence in the world directly causes such pain. Whilst you may not be the ultimate light source, even you coming too close is a threat upon the world that, if you continue to encroach, or to repel.
I feel like there's going to be a lesson on Icarus and the sun.
Valid.
Okay, let's see. And so it takes your words and says challenge accepted.
Goody.
It rolled so well on its understanding of what you're trying to tell it.
Oh, you gods.
Yeah.
2 twos in a row, it was going to happen.
Yep. The doctor killing me.
Can Calcrix give the representation of the representation of the sun her luck of chaos reroll?
No.
I know. I was asking that rhetorically, hopefully with some sort of humour.
I did think about it.
I worked really hard on all those representations of. I feel like I kind of earned at least consideration.
You did, I paused. Okay, so that means each of you gets to choose how your character is going to resolve their initiative.
Resolve their initiative.
What are you going to roll for your initiative?
Okay, what role are you going to use?
Yep. Initiative. That's intelligence. Where's the word?
Dracnima will go with nature on the fact that we were talking about and realising that negotiations have, well, kind of failed. Technically, they were destined to fail if the challenge had to be difficult.
Can I use charisma?
You can use charisma.
Particularly with the way that I choose to try diplomacy over battle these days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all the time. I want to make friends, not enemies.
Okay.
Okay, but just to correct me one,
Yep.
with the way you were rolling D20, I should have tried that animal friendship.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you should have.
A 2 might have failed.
A 2 would have failed. So yes, you might have magically gotten a friend.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, so Dracnima's on 24.
Yeah. I'd have offered, but you had it covered.
Okay, so what does Calcrix get for her
Oh.
initiative?
Sorry. Okay, so it decided that it didn't want to roll a 19 again. So 8 plus, is it 6?
6.
And 4 for proficiency? No, that's the other thing. So just 6 is 14. Hey, look, I'm remembering stuff.
Okay, so what is Luell doing for this
It doesn't
initiative?
happen all the time.
I'm going to hold an action to be ready to heal Dracomir if necessary.
But you need an initiative first.
My initiative check. Because I do need that.
Negotiations broke down a little quicker than expected.
Yes, I'm still working out what next to do, what best to do with the negotiation. So my initiative is suck.
So what's your initiative?
What am I actually adding it to?
And I'll ask David what's his initiative as well.
You told me I could choose what I use for my initiative, right?
That is correct.
Right.
You want to use pride as your initiative?
Right.
Right, okay. Sure. You can use ride as your initiative. I thought pride was a little more suitable.
Yo, that's not a listed skill though. Unless it's in
no, that would only be if there were multiple of me, in which case that would be a pride of life.
Yes.
Oh.
So
I
your,
really
so your
wish
initi-
that were the case.
yeah, your initiative would be the total number of yourself. Yeah, I got 5. All up.
Okay, so you're doing well.
It would be hard to get lower than that.
Oh, you could get a natural one, and
I did.
you did. Oh, okay.
Yes, the only reason it's as high as it is because I've got some magic on my cloak which speeds up my initiative.
So what is your ride check there, David?
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
There. I do have a ring of animal friendship given to me by Zal.
Okay, so it looks like Dracomir has managed to just go first as he realizes negotiations have ended with the challenge accepted.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what technically he's distant from Gishath right now?
He is within Gishath's range of attack, though he is about 20 feet from him.
So, in which case then, Dracula, as he's drawing his back tool, will actually run forward to get effectively under and amongst his feet, on the idea that, hey, at least that means it's probably only feet that might be the important problem, not so much the teeth and tail and claws and other big pieces.
Yes, you can easily get beneath it.
I don't know if actually will be an attack after that point, but
movement is outside of attack in this unless you decide to move twice.
technically you have to draw his weapon as well, so.
Which you can do as part of movement in D&D. Or as a bonus action if needed.
You do get to attack this round.
Give me one moment, I'm suddenly getting a whole lot of music coming to play.
I think we're getting some feedback from David.
Yeah, I can hear something as well, but I'm
Not me.
There's something
Yeah, it's
talking
definitely not
around.
me.
If I get, it's coming when I take the headphones off. It's definitely from my house somewhere.
Ah, I see.
Since no one else is here, that's odd.
Next door's got the radio on loud. Yeah.
Someone's breaking in and watching TV at your place?
Now that'd be an interesting
Jeremy is the star of the new Storm movie.
Hi, I don't want to steal anything, except I want to watch the latest download of whatever on your streaming channel, because I can't afford it.
Right.
Which would suit cost of living crisis.
What did they steal?
Cost of living crisis was the true horror
Spot on.
movie all along.
Yeah. A spot on the couch, that's what they stole.
You monster.
Okay, so I believe that our fearless tribesman is weighing up his actions as he steps between the Goliath's legs.
Yes.
As we refer to him as David.
He's obviously very concerned about a bard somewhere, which is why he's so worried about music.
Sorry about that. For some reason, the Alexa went off from the other end of the house. I think tried to play some popcorn.
It's because she's always listening, as is Google.
Yes.
Yes, but that's okay. The fact that this is in the opposite of the house, it 3 moves away.
Yep.
Listening it too well.
That's what they all do.
Yeah, that's what they all do.
Yeah. But yes, so. Hey. He called the challenge accepted. Therefore, I will attempt to get first blood. So,
Cool.
I'll be the only blood I've been mine.
You could get first feather, make a great decoration.
Good.
Where am I?
Calcrix wants to
Not
catch
dual, plus 9. 26, I said.
26, you hit.
That thing's big enough that one feather would work for a cloak for them.
This is
Or
why
2 or
she
3.
would like to gather drop feathers and make use of them.
That would be good.
We're marking to allow to this.
What was it? Oh, taking a couple of feathers.
Gathering
and,
drop
clothing.
feathers for making making
Stuff.
things.
33 damage for magical slashing from the holy symbol of Ka.
Okay, so yes, you actually draw blood as it completely drenches you.
Yeah.
Considering it is a large creature, and the size of the cart would have split a man in two. And it just looks like a small nick on the side of its foot.
Well, the aim
Yeah,
is
looks like it
to.
all.
I think the aim is to defeat, not kill.
Okay, so it is now.
That's why at the moment the intent is to avoid being attacked by everything all at once, to make it hard to defeat me by being underneath him.
So it is now Gishath's turn. And so it tries to stomp on you.
I was going to say stomp.
Well, thank God.
So that is one of his actual attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, but don't be probably safe to their fight.
By a little bit, yes. So its stomp will hit an armor class of 23.
Funnily enough, that'll hit.
And you get to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. 13. 15.
Okay, so it does 30 points of bludgeoning damage stomping on you.
Okay, I'll use my reaction to Uncanny Dog and halve that damage.
Okay.
15.
It is, in fact, exactly that.
And what did you get on your strength saving throw?
15.
Okay, so you are
Same
knocked
with the base damage.
So you were knocked prone.
Not right? Yep.
I did forget its other bonus. I just did the dice, so you get another 5 damage.
Yep.
Okay. So yes, it stomps on you, and then it rolls at the rest of. No, it tries to bite the next closest person, being the cat who ran forward.
Bob's going to have to let
It tries to bite Bob. I think it's actually going to successfully bite Bob at hitting armor class 30.
Right.
It's likely.
And then Bob gets to make a dexterity saving throw.
one.
As Bob is currently on mute, we'll ask Bob, can Bob make a dexterity saving throw?
sorry, can you just roll it for me?
Okay, I can roll. Well, why didn't we get Paul to roll for you?
$15 on the dice.
15, that's a nice roll. It does not grab you in its teeth, but it still manages to bite you. And it does 56 points of piercing damage as it bites you.
It is hot. I'll leave that for a moment.
Okay, so Bob, you're up.
It's very hard.
What would Bob like to do?
Careful, it might be.
Just delay that one.
Unfortunately, 10 seconds.
Yakima will be calling out from the ground where he's probably underneath the creature at the moment saying, "Back off! Get away!"
So what just happened with the Bob?
Was Bob doing something or Bob was delaying?
Delay.
Bob is delaying, so that brings us to Calcrix. What is Calcrix doing?
Is Drachnima currently underneath the
Well,
foot?
actually, as before Calcrix goes, it's going to take a legendary reaction and attack Calcrix with its tail.
Oh. Do I go flying across the room? Or can I dodge?
We shall find out as it gets an attack roll.
Hopefully I dodge.
So it hits armor class 25.
That is definitely going to be me. What's my AC on? Oh, 22. So, did you say 23 or 25?
25.
Yeah, definitely.
So you get hit for 30 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
And then she'll go.
Well. Sorry, I'm just minusing the 30. I'm just trying to decide how I want to attack, if I want to attack.
Yeah, okay. Yakima told everyone to back off and get away.
I'm going to delay.
You're going to delay. That brings us to Llewell, but before Llewell goes, he gets to make another legendary action. And it swings its tail at Llewell. And hits armor class 17.
That's a miss.
So it just flies over the top.
It may have knocked me backwards because the difference was basically my shield rating.
So yes, what would Llewell like to do?
hit. I've just deflected over my head or something like that. But yeah, it's like I got hit, but I didn't take any damage.
Lancing blow.
Yes, basically.
Yes.
Yes, a professionally glanced blow with my shield.
Do you do see that your shield is now glowing?
Probably a good thing I didn't get hit with it.
Just in case, where's the book with the greater dragon breath in it? Is it? I always forget which ones. Is it this
It's
one?
an orange one, it's not one of those ones. I can't point it out to you right now.
That's okay.
It's not level up, is it?
No,
No,
it's,
it's something else.
it's the Midgard's Heroes Handbook.
Okay, I'll look.
And a lot of them have been mixed up. It might be one of the ones on its side, directly below the Star Wars ones.
Okay, I'll have a look.
So on the square stuff. So look straight up, straight down a little bit. See the books on their side? It should be in that pile.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Heroes Handbook.
I sort of got to rearrange everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who keeps buying more books.
Well, I rearrange everything as needed.
I'm teasing. Teasing.
So,
Thanks.
what is Llewell going to do?
He did take a hit, didn't he?
He did.
He did. I will.
And then he stomped, swacked, and tried to swack again.
Yes. I'm going to try and. If I can get to Drachnima without sort of diving into the fight too much, which I doubt.
Well, if you were to try to retreat, it would get an attack of opportunity. But if you move towards it, it would not.
Yes.
Because that's how the combat
But
works.
remember,
Yes.
Dracnima is specifically underneath the creature.
Yes.
You certainly can't get to Dracnima without.
Oh, I know I've got to move.
Definitely.
I know I've got to move closer to the dinosaur. But if you're not sort of directly in front of its mouth, it's at the moment safe enough for me to move forward and hit you with a cure spell. Which, what am I doing? I have to make sure I'm using the right one. Damn it, where's my spells? There. Oh, brainy hurt. Where's my stuff? Sorry, I lost everything.
All good.
Cure. I should be looking at everything. That much. How big a hit was that you got hit with?
Well, hard to tell. He's currently under the foot.
So pretty chunky. Right, I'm going to do this at. I'll do it at 5, just to make sure of things. This is going to be.
So which is the spell you're actually doing? Heal?
The heal. Yeah, so I've got to get the touch right. Can I actually touch him if he's under the foot?
You can. I'm sure there's a bit of him sticking out because he is not prone.
I grab him by the little toe and heal him. Use this multiple times. And 37.
Okay, so you start to channel the positive energy into him and you feel energy coming from everywhere. That's where you start to remember what are those stories of the sun god being the source of all magic. As positive energy radiates throughout the area, everyone's fully healed.
Right.
You see all wounds close up.
Including those upon
Yes.
Kit who were a lot more damaged than I was. Technically, well, the temporary hit points that you provide at the beginning of each day, are they until rest or are they 8 hours?
Rest.
Yeah. Technically, Dracnima was only down 8 points at that moment in time.
Right. Well, I couldn't
Hard to
tell. I couldn't tell because I couldn't see
Absolutely.
the diagnosis.
But also, okay, Dracnima did say, get back.
At which point, Gislath takes his third legendary action and tries to stomp on the well. On a 17.
Still a miss.
Your shield continues to glow and you feel the energy around you just almost like a solid sort of wall.
Okay. Is that something affecting the shield, or is it something where the shield is being accentuated by the local magic?
You think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
You are being attacked by a avatar of the sun god.
Yeah.
But which sun god? There's always questions of which are the actual sun gods, because there's more than one.
Yes, but if it's an aspect for Titan, I don't think it cares which pantheon it's attached to. Because Titans don't. They're sort of famously non-pantheon types.
But pantheons still worship them, even if they don't care.
Of course they do. But unlike a lot of the gods and immortals, they don't have a different name for each pantheon they're attached to. So I'm me, fuck off.
Proteus is one of the Titans, and he is multi-named.
Yes, but he's an exception.
So yes,
Bob would love to act.
So Bob would love to act. Bob's up next.
Great. What would Bob's attacking tactics?
So Bob can either.
He's got a big sword in his back.
So he's got a big sword which he can use. He has razor sharp claws. He can extend that. Do the equivalent of Wolverine.
Yeah.
From known as War Claws. He can also deploy a bow and attack with that because it generates its own arrows. So everything you have is designed to look low tech, even if it is high tech.
Yeah, he's gonna draw the bow. I'm just chilling.
Okay. So yes, the bow deploys in moments. It just unfolds from what looks like a small cylinder. And the string forms out of pure energy.
Seems legit. Thanks out.
So yes, you get to make. We'll give you 2 attacks.
Yeah, just give me a second. Alright. Okay. Let me get through. I rolled 15 and a 6.
You rolled a 15 and a 6. Well, the 15 definitely hits, the 6 does not.
Oh, great.
So the 6
What other commands are we doing?
So your weapon is doing D10 damage. And you get to do 3d10.
And 21.
Okay, yes, you strike it true with that high shot.
Mhm.
And anything else that known as Bob wishes to do this round?
Does Bob have any other abilities?
Bob should have multiple abilities, but Bob can always take an extra round of shooting if Bob wishes to.
Oh, absolutely.
But you can only do that once for short rest.
Look, we're here.
Okay.
A full lot of shooting?
That's 2 more attacks.
So we've got 13 and 17.
They are both hits.
Yeah. Uh, 15 and 27.
Okay, so yes, you get in 2 decent hits there, but that leaves us with Calcrix as the last person to act.
Calcrix is trying to. Can't find the greater dragon breath, only dragon breath.
Dragon Breath will probably use that.
So. Sorry.
I'm still building up the spell reference like the rest of the other things.
Yeah, no, but I just remember seeing an actual greater dragon breath when we were actually giving me that last big spell. But we never had a chance to actually write it up.
Let me see if I actually got it. Do you remember what level it was?
So it was when I reached level 11, so I think it was a 6th level spell or a 5th level
It'd be a
spell.
5th.
because I got 1/5 and 1/6, and so I picked 2 really impactful ones. But I think Martin's right, and I don't want to spend too much time. I don't want to lose too much time figuring it out.
Dragon Breath Crater, page 164.
Wait, yeah, oh yeah, okay, so it's the same thing.
Dragon's Breath Crater, not Greater Dragon's Breath.
Just says Dragon Breath, but I'm guessing at higher levels is the greater bit. Because I can cast one at 6.
It probably is.
164?
Yeah, it's probably, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it might be just
No,
that.
if that doesn't say greater, a Dragon's Breath greater,
Oh, well, that's 164.
then, then it's
Which book? Midgard?
this one, yeah.
Some of the words had to be renamed because they appeared in there multiple times.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, so let's just call that, as you said,
Yeah.
the correct one, because as I said, I don't want to waste
Yeah,
too much time.
so we'll go with
That
that.
looks like it.
And
I'm
you're
white.
So 15-foot cone of cold damage.
Well,
There's a 5th level spell in there.
Yes.
it's I can cast it at 5th and 1 at 6. So,
So basically 5th level is the one you're looking at.
Yeah.
I don't count as black or blue yet, despite my black or blue scales.
You can choose to cast it as any of the 3.
Okay, so I can do it as cold or lightning or acid. I have a feeling though that cold would be more effective against a reptile.
Or an avatar of the sun.
Yes.
Yeah,
Avatar
so
of the sun,
I'm going to cast it as white. So just roll a d20, see whether or not I hit.
What's the name of the spell?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it might not be an attack roll.
Yes. I found a spell for David though. Power word pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes. Not one that Claw is going to be
Might take a photo of that with my phone and save it in an album because I'm
Likely.
always looking for it.
likely to cast.
Yes, I think part of the reason I was looking for other stuff on that one is it doesn't actually give you the saving throw or the attack roll.
Oh, is that why you were looking for a better version of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's missing chunks of what should be there for a spell of its type.
Would you prefer I didn't use
No,
it?
I'm happy to use it.
Okay.
Okay. So you spend an action to cast the spell.
Yep.
Now you need to roll a d6.
A d6.
So while you're concentrating, each round as a bonus action, you can roll a d6. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you can use the breath weapon.
Okay. That'll be no.
Also, well, for first round you can automatically do it. Every round afterwards you get to do it as a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Alright, so that one doesn't count this round, I get to do it?
You get to do it automatically this round. So
Okay.
66 damage, unless you cast it as your 6th level spell, in which case it would be 86.
Look, I'm gonna do 66 because I don't want to kill this avatar. You've still got like resurrect and things like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't think I'm going to kill him anytime soon. 14.
So 14.
It's nice to actually finally use it because
Yeah. Doesn't look like damage a bit more than your own breath weapon.
yeah. Well, it's just nice to kind of practice it. I'm making a bigger effort to try and shift things into my long-term memory.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you believe you have gotten to putting it to the bloody point, which means half its hit points, which means it may activate more abilities. most big creatures can. Then it is now Drachnimir's action.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll.
you are no longer
Use
underfoot
one-
as it's stamped on someone else.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I'll use my move to stand up,
Yep.
and again,
Apparently,
as I'm swinging and we'll try and hit it, I will call it again. Get out of here, you fools! Run!
As you look around, you see that there are no openings in the trees.
Hey, that's right. He's not looking around to actually where to run to, because he's not running. So he's more concentrating purely on the cutting out the feet and bringing it down by taking out the Achilles type stuff. Go for an attack. Oh, 19 is AC 30.
30 is a hit.
Or what's that? 8, 9, 6, 30, or what's it? 30. 33 damage from the magical crashing.
Okay, so yes, you get a solid hit in. As you basically drench yourself in another river of blood.
Okay. Important to accept the sacrifice. But yes, okay. Nimmer's plan is to try and cripple, therefore not kill, and avoid, if he does successfully cripple it, try not to be underneath it when it falls.
Okay, so it lifts its foot out of your reach, giving you an attack of opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Free whack.
Does everyone get attack of opportunity in 5th?
Well, when things leave your threatened range, if you have the capacity of retaliating, yes, you do.
Yep.
It's yeah.
Okay, that's right. Because obviously, Pathfinder where it becomes specifically ridiculous. That's right.
Yeah.
It is.
So fighting.
Fifth Ed does it when anything ever leaves the range of your attack, which for its movement is technically lifting its foot, moving its entire body out of your range of attack by just lifting a foot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's taking my target out of my range. So
But it's an opportunity attack, not advantage. So it's just
another AC 30
Okay, yes, you strike
nice.
it well.
for 15, 23, 26 points of damage. Unfortunately, I don't get to reroll my damage and choose the better one this time round. That much around.
Okay, so as you hit it, you seem to get something important, and it collapses on its side from the strike. Unable to balance on just one foot. And then you blink your eyes and you find yourself standing in a normal forest with a couple of glowing feathers left in the clearing.
Feathers.
So you pick him up.
If nobody else wants them, I definitely want to pick up some feathers. I'm happy to share.
And you feel the ground underneath you shudder.
Yeah. Well, that's disappointing because like the plan immediately, if someone hadn't done it before he got around to his next action, was the idea immediately speaking to it in animal, and because the speak with animal could still be active for the whole minute or whatever it likes. As he was going to try and heal the damage, but
Yeah, I was hoping that we could do some healing as well and talk to it.
But in which case then he will gather up the feathers and effectively say a prayer and thank him for the challenge and So,
So that there are 5 feathers. Each feather is as long as a peacock's plumage.
mm-hmm.
It's not quite
Wow.
long enough to be a cloak for.
No, but Dracnum has gathered them, therefore I don't
Bob notes it, which is slightly as you're as you start moving the feathers around.
Make a cloak out of them.
Well, Nimric's immediate would actually, he would be planning on gathering them all, because, hey, they certainly will be good feathers to go to his chieftain headdress.
Yes. Or, no, actually, at that length, your cloak.
Halcrick
He can
can't
take
help-
pieces of it and use it as his headrest without actually detracting from it.
Yes.
Halcrick can't help but
And
wish
Jeremy, I'm not biting.
she'd had the opportunity to make friends with it and
I knew exactly where you were going with that.
talk to it.
It's because it's Jeremy.
Well, I mean, it's the sort of thing that Nimric's image is not quite accurate anymore now that he's become chieftain of chiefs, or even a chief initially, so
Yeah.
he has got more feathers in his headdress now.
And glowing feathers would not be a bad thing to have there.
But okay, he'll be effectively doing the prayer over the feathers, not so much for the tribal aspect of thanking the spirits of the animal for the food that it provided for itself, but that sort of line of the recognition of the talented nature of Berkeley and all that sort of stuff. But yeah.
And as you're gathering it up and doing your prayer, all of you hear a voice echo over the forest. You don't know what language it is, but you understand it. Which for Llewell, he hasn't really noticed anything different.
No, because this is normal for me. Yeah.
You hear that the guardian of the sleepers has been defeated. The sleepers are now awake.
Yeah. Actually, if it's spoken, it's not automatic. I've actually got to do a ritual for that. So in this case, it's I'm hearing it, I'm understanding it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's as if I'd done Conquering Languages.
So you hear that the guardian of the sleepers has been defeated. The sleepers are now awake.
Halcrick
That doesn't sound the best.
wants to see whether or not she understands that, what that means, like who the sleepers are.
Yeah.
For Calcrix, you would recognize it as a reference to an avatar's service. An avatar generally serves a sleeping god.
So does that mean Gishath's Titan has woken up?
The sun creature has awoken,
Yeah.
which would normally have been sleeping. But it referred to as creatures instead of just creature, meaning that there are probably 5.
Because 5 is how these things work.
And you do hear some names come through. Beware the primal dawn, the primal tide, the primal storm, the primal death, the primal hunger, and to your surprise, a 6th one comes through, the primal calamity.
And for those of us who can't write that fast,
First one was primal dawn,
dawn,
then tide,
tide,
then storm,
storm.
then death.
And Martin actually misspoke. The last one is Bob. Beware Bob.
No, Pain.
Then hunger,
Bob's a nice guy. Ish.
and then calamity.
For one of my characters.
Which
Yeah,
when
for one of yours, yeah.
Which, when you hear a 6th representation, it triggers memory in Llewell about how the world considers everything in numbers of 5,
Yes.
except the gods. They count to 6.
Yeah.
6 is their primary number, whereas mortality uses 5.
Yes. Which means
That's it.
not only is it
The gods
mentioning
are on the
calamity,
Imperial system.
Yeah, it's not just using calamity, it's using calamity from the point of view of a god.
So you believe that 6 gods have awoken, not 5?
Yeah, I'll mention that one.
Is there any way of telling, or does Calcrix have knowledge of who these gods are? In particular, these aren't, I'm presuming, dragon gods.
They predate all the gods that you know.
Okay, so definitely not dragon dog gods,
Yeah.
so at least she doesn't have to worry about that side of things just yet. She's still worried. This could be worse than the dragon god things, but she just wants to know that's a separate matter.
From the dragon god's perspective, these gods can't be reasoned or negotiated with.
Right.
No,
They are literal versions of the Turesk that are dedicated to different aspects of the world.
It's all right. I'm sure we have nothing to fear from the 6 horsemen of the apocalypse.
I was just gonna. Calcrix is gonna look over at Draknamar and go, "Thanks, you've just brought on the end of the world."
Well, it's the 6 dinosaurs of the apocalypse.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, give it. Well,
Okay.
actually, the
If we have to go
Comment
down,
just-
let it be by dinosaurs.
comment just made actually comes back to an old joke about munchkins. Martin has just mentioned a pack of Tarasks.
Mhm.
And it is believed that the
Yeah.
Turesk is a child of these
A child of
beings.
Right.
Or rather, yeah, the Turesk is probably a child of the Earth
Oh
aspect
yeah,
of
no.
What?
Each
Primal hunger is the
each
child.
one has their own child. Each one is a Tarask.
that's right. So
Yeah, I know.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. It's a pack.
the sense of like yeah, but like my thought would be yes, Turesk is child of one of them. The Titan Kraken that we saw, child of a different one. So
The witch
tide?
that we saw.
The Kraken that you heard about
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be the child of
Okay.
the Primal Tide.
Yeah.
okay.
The Turesk would
Yeah.
be the child of the Primal Hunger.
Right. So we're halfway through the Titans.
Gishath was the child of the Primal Dawn.
Yep.
But he was the one that kept the others asleep
Yes.
until defeated.
By withholding his morning light.
Yeah, well, you know, it's all Draknamar's fault, really.
Hey,
That's what I'm going
if
with.
you had followed Dracula's direction, he wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have been defeated.
Calcrix does have insight that no matter how you defeated him, you got the same result.
Yep.
Whether it by
I
words,
know.
by deed.
Okay, the point was the
She-
challenge was made.
To be honest, she had that insight when Car came to her in her dreams and said, once you unlock a thing, you can't lock it back up. And she's just like, this is going to end badly no matter what we do,
Yep.
and we're just going to have to deal with it. So
And in the distance, you see a sun rise out of the forest
Right.
and start to move away.
for some reason, Calcrix is sad. Because this means harder times, and she was hoping things would get easier eventually.
Yeah, well, Martin's the GM.
Pardon?
But Martin's the
After,
GM.
Yeah, I know.
after Dracula,
This is the
who
character,
collected
though,
the
no.
feathers and
Oh, no,
said his
that's right.
prayer and thought about the words that the sleepers had awakened. He'll have the time to actually look around at the surroundings. You said we'd apparently come back into the normal world.
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking again trees that tower forever?
No, the trees only go up about 50 feet at this stage.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're well out of the big ones.
Apparent time of day or night?
Well, you can see a sun rising very
Suddenly.
quickly.
That one
Yeah,
doesn't
because
really
people are actually rising in the west from where we are.
Yes.
Well, it's rising more in the north to be as you can tell by the shape of things, and it's heading south.
I think it might be worth
In so many ways, but no, I'm fine. Thank you.
As you
Nice one, thank
hear the beat of massive wings.
Yeah, okay, let's get under the edge of the trees and then see what that is.
Well, you can see it without having to do so, but it's just so bright. It is a literal sun flying above.
Okay. This guy definitely had no wings, did he?
He did not.
No, this is...
This is the parrot.
Is this a dragon or a bird?
It is
Phoenix,
the
maybe.
ancestor of all dragons.
Ah, okay.
It predates the dragons.
Rinse
Yeah.
it in really hot water and then just do it in spit.
Oh,
Yeah, but it'd be hard to do it.
I'm actually just thinking from Blacknima's perspective,
I'll just grab
uh,
a few things.
he's probably not overly concerned right now in the sense of apparently Atruaghin and Pearl, as in the dragon god,
Yes.
have taken sides in the battle that he doesn't technically know about yet.
Yes.
Because
So, David, I believe we're getting discussion from you. Go, Jeremy.
Sorry, Martin?
I think we're hearing words from you or some talking.
Oh, sorry.
or background,
So what was it about Pearl? Because I can't remember
the
who
fact
Pearl
that
is.
the fact that Pearl and Atruaghin apparently have chosen sides against Tar, who chose sides on the Brotherhood again. This is not stuff that Blacknima is actually aware of. But
You know
they look at the fact that
so you do know that they've chosen to take sides against the Brotherhood of Shadow, not against the Fellowship of the Star or the Ring of Fire.
So they've teamed up
yeah,
against
okay.
the bad guys.
But the idea being the
Well,
fact that
one of
Atruaghin,
the bad
sorry,
guys.
Blacknima specifically doesn't know what the rest of the party know
Well, they-
about the
Shadow
the interactions of the god.
Mhm.
In the, when the Brotherhood of the Star when what's his name, Raphael faced up against Ichthian.
Yep.
But the
There was a
what's
triangle, if I
interesting
remember
from
right.
Blacknima's perspective though is, okay, so they've gone against what Tar was warning about unlocking things that can't be locked back up again. The fact that Tar was trying to preserve the status quo. Atruaghin and Pearl have obviously decided that, no, it's time to release the Kraken.
Yep.
Well, from Dracnimir's perspective, nature will make things right. As Atruaghin believes that it's part of the Atruaghin belief that nature deserves to have its say, and nothing is more nature than the primal elements.
Wait, Martin.
Yeah.
Are you saying that in this world of dinosaurs that life finds a way?
It does.
Na, 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 na.
We were just waiting for somebody to get that one.
And I've made those statements a few times close to that.
So whilst you said that a sun had just arisen in the north and flowing down to the south,
Yep.
looking around for the sun, as opposed to a sun,
As it passes, you
we have an idea
realize
of time of
that
day.
you realize that it is nighttime after the sun flies south over the horizon from where you can see it.
Okay. And obviously, we're still feeling damn tired after being exhausted for more than an hour after the continued travel. So,
And by the look of the stars, you've been traveling for 2 days since you met the cats.
Okay.
okay.
Makes sense because we
So we
did.
should be almost at the coastline until we take a lock of wrong turns.
Yeah,
Well, when
You went into the Feywild fully.
when
Yeah.
Yes.
Bob got the transmission, it was 2 days away, so that makes sense.
But you can't
Yeah.
see the coast.
But
can't see the
That's
coast.
right. But
No,
the
you
point
didn't
is that-
actually travel for 2 days. You spent 2 days getting to where you are.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
That's right. But the okay, Nimmer and other members of the party have definitely faced it before. The idea that hey, when you go to other places, time does not necessarily travel the same distance.
That's true.
So whilst we might have felt we only spent a very long day travelling yesterday, the fact that 2 days have passed in the real world is
It
not
was actually
unexpected.
17 weeks.
And essentially, we may not have actually travelled any distance in the real world, so we might still be 2 days away from the coast. Hopefully, it's only 1 day though.
That is some wibbly wobbly shit.
Yes.
It does.
Indeed.
Speaking of wibbly wobbly stuff,
Mhm.
brain word.
That thing.
Drazzle. Calcrix looks to Drazzle to see if she can get a read on how he's feeling, doing, thinking.
Well, he looks sad.
Yeah, Calcrix is sad too. She will give him a hug. Are we camping for the night then?
I think we
That
should.
would be the intent. If it's already dark, then
Yes.
there's
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
Does that
no
mean
reason to be.
we're getting into Lua's tower?
Yes.
Or is
'cause
there
I-
a circle?
is there a
Well, there won't be a circle because
Well,
we're after dark.
Looking around, there
Yeah.
is no circle because
No.
the sun that passed overhead was not the actual sun.
Cool. I'll get out the small cube and put up our tent.
Mm-hmm.
The 20-foot square, 30-foot adamantine tent.
At one point, Calcrix is just either just going to find a private place, she's going to set up her little ritual stuff, and she's going to send one prayer to Ka, just kind of not commiseration or anything, just kind of honouring that, Ka warned that this would happen, and she knew that this might not go this way, but, not really an apology because we all knew what was coming, but kind of like a reverence to the fact that this has happened and she is sad, and she's expressing her sadness. And she also, she's not sure if the Hermit can hear, but she's hoping that he will give her some guidance about what to do in the coming days.
Yeah.
Okay. So, while you're doing that, I'll give you a religion roll. And what is everyone else doing to rest?
Well, Nimmer will actually go into the tower, but then immediately go to the top of the tower, and will actually be sleeping out on the under the open sky at the
Where
top
the
of the tower.
pterodactyls can eat you.
Yeah.
If that's the case, but the point being that it allows him and Atruaghin more free access to each other while he's spending the night again. He's probably going to be up the rest of the night effectively praying, and
Right.
won't get any sleep or recovery for his exhaustion.
Okay.
Bob and Lou.
We'll do Luell first.
I'm going to do create food and water for dinner and use prestidigitation to flavour it because that food is boring as hell. And
You are such a wonderful cook.
I am actually a very good cook.
As long as it tastes like cookies or cake, Calcrix is happy. Even if it's soup.
It tastes like both cookies and cake.
There you go.
Yes.
The best of all worlds.
Yes.
And what does
unfortunately with the texture of a tough marshmallow.
And what does
I'll
our
slice it up.
Recaster
Yeah.
do for the night?
Bob, seeing that the world is doomed,
Well,
and
that's
knowing
cool.
that there's time in the world it's probably going to come to a very quick end.
It's time to get on your spaceship and go back to the moon.
Yeah, look, to quote my favourite TV show, Russell Coitz's All Aussie Adventures,
Yep.
knowing that I'd done all I could to help, I
I'm
knew
so happy
that
you
it was
said
time to hit the road.
Yeah. Very much time to hit the road.
Bob prepares to depart this awful cursed world.
Well, Bob does know that unless they find the shrine that they need, their people cannot leave.
Yeah,
So,
like I said,
Rick
he
has
prepares to leave the awful cursed world.
You didn't say it was leaving voluntarily.
so yes.
Considering it's the end of the night, I'm gonna see if I can use Luck of Chaos just to see if I can improve my roll slightly. It's not bad,
Okay,
but
sure.
Nope, I'm gonna take the first one. 21.
Okay. So yes, as you're dreaming, you find yourself sitting next to Drachnamir in a dream.
This is interesting. Doesn't happen often.
That's pretty wild.
You don't really share dreams with people very often.
No.
And you hear a bit of scribbling in the background, so you think someone's observing the dream, but not there.
Frazzle.
Because
If I could in the dream, I'd pass just without looking around, just pass a cookie backwards. And I'd really hope that in the dream
you see
it would
Bob
be
in
taken
your
out of
dream.
my hand.
He is a kitten.
No.
Sorry, what was that about a kitten?
He says that you see a
You
kitten
see-
in the dream.
Bob in your dream. He's a kitten. He looks at you and says, "G'day."
Sigh.
Sorry, I'm writing all of this down. Does it happen? Do I pass the cookie back? Is it
Well,
taken?
you believe it's taken.
Okay, and I see the little kitten Bob who says
You see
today.
the little kitten Bob with the big eyes.
Starts chasing a laser pointer.
Does Calcrix have any concept of a laser pointer?
Well, it's a red light on the ground and keeps
Yeah.
chasing it.
Yeah.
I could
You
do-
It's
think
actually the embodiment of his son.
Continuous Eldritch Blast using Radiant and just run it at one hit point damage and just run it all over the floor.
It hurts my soul.
And Llewell was sitting here, but Llewell doesn't can't seem to move his hands and legs properly. Looks down. They look like the size of an infant.
Now you know how Carl feels. Little arms,
Yeah.
Little arms and little legs.
big legs, little arms. I wasn't designed properly. I wish I could remember the quote from Meet the Robinsons.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
No, that's Princess Bride, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it was more, I don't think you've thought this through.
Yeah.
So yes, while you're sitting there and you have Drachnamir. Drachnamir is actually in the same dream.
Okay. In that he's fallen asleep while conducting his prayers, or he
there's
can basically spirit walking in his that's part of his prayers.
He believes his spirit walking is part of his prayers.
Yep.
You all hear that you have reached a milestone in the events of the world. The original Titans have awoken.
Yeah, that's going to scare a fuck ton of people.
And they
Sorry, were we getting told this by anyone particular, or were we just hearing this while we were all sitting around?
you're hearing it
In
while
the
you're all
dream.
sitting around. You believe it's coming from
Yep.
your patron, though you all believe it's coming from your patron.
Yeah, no, that's right. So as far as Dracula is concerned, the Cthulhu telling him this, or is it the Great One / Pearl,
So yes.
or both?
So the answer to Drachnamir's thing is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it's Great Dragon, Pearl, and Atruaghin, or
Uh,
just all the
He
gods
believes
at once?
it's coming from each character believes it's coming from their patron, whichever one they're currently following.
I'm
Yes.
following like
Yeah.
6,
So you're not sure which one, but it's coming from your patron.
the one I
Okay.
hope most is Bahamut, because he is a law type person.
You are unable to place who it comes from. You
Yeah.
just believe it. You believe it's coming from your patron.
I'm just saying who I think it's coming from, and
Okay, and it says that they have not been awake since civilization has formed.
This could be a bad thing.
Right, and we're high enough level, and people have sufficient divination spells and so on that anyone with any sort of spell casting capability available to them now knows who did it.
And
Because legend lore.
the gods now know that the Titans have awoken,
Yes.
and the gods are afraid.
And they're going to blame us.
Well, the Titans were put to sleep by the first gods.
Yes. So we have to do something about these before the gods decide to do something about us.
On the plus side, again, something that Graknima isn't really aware of, but the rest of the party's aware, is hey, they might stop squabbling amongst themselves now.
Yeah, for long enough to finish us off.
And because the gods are divided, there is not enough power amongst the pantheons to deal with them.
Yes, which is what we're going to be for.
And no single god can stand up to them.
Yeah, and we're going to be
So
facing
maybe they
them.
might have to all unite instead of fighting amongst each other.
They are beyond uniting. You
Yeah,
already know from everything you've
it's-
heard that they are not in a position to unite.
Yeah, it's us.
We really need to help the Rakasta find that shrine so that we can get off this planet as well. Because I think we've got better chances of doing that than surviving what's going on here. In
We've already done
more seriousness, if Calcric
That is
is
a
able
fantastic idea.
to think at all as a part of influence of the dream and things like that, she will ask what is her part or what can she do to save her realm. If there's no answer, that's fine. She wants to at least ask the question. She's okay if there's like,
Okay, so you get the impression that Io can reason with them.
Now Io's like my dad, grandfather. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. He's the neutral dragon, isn't he? I was trying to remember the name.
He is the neutral dragon, yes.
Yeah.
And he is a child of the Titans.
So he's
Right.
the only one who can reason with the gods or with the Titans?
With the Titans.
Okay.
Possibly yes, might be the answer there. But we're going to have to sort of get them to listen.
But Io has been gone for many centuries.
Yeah.
So this is kind of related to the Bahamut, Tiamat
Yes.
problem I've got.
Yes.
And Io can't come back unless Bahamut's there.
Comes back and
And Bahamut can't come back unless Tiamat's there.
Tiamat, that's it. I knew it started with T. At least my
Yes.
brain got somewhere.
So we have to get all three of them, but Io has to be predominant,
But
because otherwise things get very messy.
so if Tiamat and Bahamut come back, the dragons will go to war, which will be bad, but probably not worse than the Titans destroying the world.
Yes.
Um,
But if we can stop the Titans without, we need the root dragon.
So let me see if
need
I
the
remember
dragons
this
back
right.
Anyway.
If we can bring both Tiamat and Bahamut back within a quarter so that they can balance each other out,
Yes.
are they able to bring Io back?
I think
They
it's
they
inherent.
they don't want Io to come back.
Okay.
So we'd have
Have
to
you
get them
considered
back.
just letting the world burn?
We'd probably end up doing that anyway if we're going to do this dragon
Remember,
thing.
my first option was, finding that damn shrine and getting the heck out of here. And do I I remember we've talked about this. Do I remember the details around Io and bringing Io back?
No, because that is even more obscure than details about Bahamut, which is you're the first in this generation to have heard the name.
Yeah, well, I've been praying regularly to Bahamut
Yeah.
because
Right.
I know that that's a part of gaining strength, and I've been talking to a couple of my trusted allies. But that's not going to be anywhere near enough, and that may not be the solution anyway. We'll have to figure it out as we go.
Yes.
But I like to push for as much information as I can get whenever I can get it. Especially when I don't roll dismally.
Yeah.
So you are expecting that if there is anywhere in this world you can find more information about any of those three gods, it would be here.
So where we are right now?
Yes.
Okay, that was going to be my next question.
Because you would
nice anticipation.
Because you would expect that the birthplace of the Titans would be the birthplace of Ire.
Makes sense.
Yes. Yes. This actually comes back to one of the things I was going to mention to you.
Yeah, about Bahamut.
About Io, but all the dragon gods. To strengthen what you're trying to do and any ritual you're doing with it, the moonblade that I'm carrying is going to be incredibly useful because they were involved in making it. So, yeah, it can be a beacon for them to respond to.
Sorry, I am listening. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
also trying to write what my
No, that's
Memory
fine.
works.
my hands,
Yes.
memory and hands, because they're going numb. You can feel the.
They can understand.
It's like an insidious sort of creeping numbness that comes through, and you can feel it spreading. It's really quite horrible.
So yes,
The tissue will dies, and yeah.
you do know that these Titans probably won't destroy the world.
Probably.
Okay, that's reassuring. Halcrit sends up a
Ish.
little thank you.
But
I needed some reassurance.
They will rearrange it.
I can deal with rearranging things. I like a little bit of chaos. Actually, I like a lot of chaos.
Yes, we know it.
Yes. But you got to think through also the fact that, hey, a huge asteroid hitting the Earth won't destroy the world.
Much.
It'll just make it different and unlivable for everything currently on.
And we circle back to finding the shrine for the Rakasta and getting on that damn spaceship.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am on fairly good friendship basis with some of the Rakasta now. We've swapped coffee.
Okay, so yes, dawn finally rises, and you all feel well rested after spending a night in an interesting visitation.
Over coffee,
Yes.
Calcrix breaks out one of her rare blocks of chocolate, and she's like, "It is chocolate for breakfast time," and she hands it out to anyone who wants it, including Drazzle and E.
Cool.
Just confirming on that one, as I said, from Jacknima's perspective, he wasn't actually expecting to sleep, and therefore was expecting to come up with his thoughts and still. But the spiritual visitation was restful,
It was restful.
even if the news was not.
The news might be slightly terrifying, but having nature fight back is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, no, that's right.
There are a few things that can stand against nature unleashed.
Yes.
Yeah.
The nature gods themselves are not able to hold nature at bay. They can encourage it,
And
but they can't stop it.
Why do I just see like a walking tree booting and spatting people out of the way?
Well, that is one of the gods.
Hmm.
yeah. Except, well, and Jacknima's not entirely concerned about the news because, from his perspective, he followed the direction he'd been given from Atruaghin, and Atruaghin didn't actually tell him that he'd mucked up the challenge, therefore, apparently, it achieved the goal that he wanted.
Yes. Apparently.
Now, whether or not Atruaghin understood what he really wanted, or understood the effect of what he wanted,
It's a
was
different
question.
thing. Yes.
But in the scheme of things, you believe that many gods will now be distracted.
So,
Yeah,
in terms of Dracnima's fears that the gods are going to kind of blame us and know that we did it, is that a realistic fear, or are they going to be just too busy going, shit, the Titans are back?
Well, it's a realistic fear, but it's not something they can would directly affect you for.
Yeah, that's the point. The gods can't act
And it's
directly.
certainly not something that
Yeah.
Nimmer was particularly fearful of. I think that was Blue will make that comment, but
Yeah, I
Jack Nimmer is the case of,
Okay.
hey,
okay, I made the comment because yes, they're going to know whether they care or
Sorry.
not. Given that they presently have Titans on the loose, is an entirely different proposition. Once the Titans are dealt with, then we'll probably get revenge coming down on our heads from the followers of these gods. But until then, they're a bit busy.
By then, I'm going to be following Drazzle's footsteps and trying to become a god so that I can just boot a few butts myself.
Yeah, I think they all will. And having, given we're in the midst of attempting to fix a god war,
I can
if we
see it now.
succeed, we'll succeed.
And you do believe that by unleashing the Titans, there will be less gods and space in the pantheon.
I was just going to
Because
say.
they're going to go and eat some of them, aren't they?
That's what they're known to be able to do.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
gonna
I'm
be
either going to
cool.
be Calcrix, god of cookies, or Calcrix, a cookie monster.
Calcrix, god of morning tea, biscuits and coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Well, everyone needs a break every now and then.
Yes. The god of morning break.
Right. So not all is lost. Hopefully the gods will all take each other out, and the ones that want to blame us for what's going on, hopefully they'll be taken out by all the infighting and we won't
So
have anything to worry
Part
about.
of Redrian's beliefs that he's given you is that God should not be interfering into the affairs of mortals.
So they can't directly
Yes.
do that.
And
They're
they're,
not
currently,
that's
they're currently
good.
doing that, which is the main direction of the war.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
the gods
the
are actually acting
Yeah.
directly.
otherwise the goddess of peace would not be the
Trying to
instrument of war.
annihilate a whole
Yes.
whole nation
Yeah.
and people.
Yes. They're acting directly, and that's what they're not supposed to have been doing and have been avoiding for a long, long time.
And from Drachnimir's perspective, the limitations of the Atruaghin have now been lifted.
Yes.
What does that mean?
They were not permitted to leave the Atruaghin plateau and go to war.
And
So now they can go
as-
to war.
And they can use metal weapons.
The limitations that kept the Titans here also held them in bay.
Yeah.
Good luck getting Drachnimir to pick up a metal weapon, no matter how much you tell him it's okay now.
No. It's now individual. And Drachnimir still won't do it. But there's no restriction
But-
on them as a people.
As a
technically
people
we'd
that
already,
only
that
accepted from the
metal
dragons.
weapons had already been
Yeah.
allowed and metal stuff had already been allowed because of the
Oh, yeah, I know.
influence of the dragon clan. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
now it's Atruaghin clans on the loose
Mhm.
with metal weapons. And not having metal weapons is one of the things that people went, yeah, okay, even if they get out, it'll be okay. Is it not anymore?
That's why they've all been supplied over the last year. So
Yeah.
from another thing for Drachnimir is this was the sign Drachnimir had been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, actually, having been declared Chief of Chiefs, the intent was, obviously, but the job of the Chief of Chiefs is to lead the clan beyond the plateau on their millennial rampage. He had to unlock it so they could.
Yes.
And you now have your 6 clan symbols instead of the 5 clan symbols.
Yeah. Okay. If you don't have a thought in your head, you go, okay, how do we separate this? How do we get them all together? Go, oh, God, how am I going to get a 6-1 in there?
Exactly.
As you believe that they were the origin symbols for the people.
That's
Of course, the idea, the one that got lost was Calamity. You're thinking, hang on, maybe they can read that one got lost.
yes.
But hey, all good. He got the mission now. That explains why Atruaghin obviously wanted him to release the Kraken. Ooh.
Jeremy, I think if you're going to use the term release the Kraken or Krakens, it is beholden on you to announce it as it should be.
And the other little tidbit of information that Drachnamir has been granted is that the Master's ability to take the souls of those who pass his domain has been rescinded with the release of the Titans.
Oh, he's going to hate that.
The Master had been drawing on the power of the Titans while they slept.
I had a feeling about that when it came to the clash with the Tarrasque.
Yeah. So if we start any potential negotiations with the Titans saying, we saved you from being drained by the Master, that might help.
You
Maybe.
don't believe that they would understand that much.
I have an ability that means that anyone I'm speaking to is going to understand what I say.
Yeah, well, they might understand the words.
Whether they care is a separate thing. But
There's
that's me being charismatic, is getting them to care.
all stories you have heard of these creatures are they are as understanding as nature.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what do you call the concept of your first difficulty or the first hurdle would be to have them recognise your existence,
Yeah.
as opposed to aside from being not even a buzzing mosquito in their ear.
Darion! No,
I've got
quiet voice. Sorry, he's just getting right in my ear.
It doesn't matter how eloquently the mosquito buzzes.
I know that. I didn't say I didn't understand that. It's just that I'm still going to try.
And as you move out from the tower, after an hour of moving through the forest, you find yourself on the coast. And you see about another day's journey to the north, the inlet where the valley begins.
Right.
Exactly, Martin. When they talked to when we were with the tribes initially, and also with the Samurai Beaker Cat.
Yep.
Did they talk about any inhabitants of the Western Ocean, or the ocean to the west of the island?
They did. They say that's where most of the undead is converging.
Right, okay.
Oh, fun.
And that there are titans on those islands out to sea.
Yeah.
Not titan, titans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plural.
there'll be more than one.
Now, was it the undead that pushed the lizard folk out of the island?
It was.
It was, yeah. Right.
Sorry, where were the undead coming from again?
The undead were coming out of the water.
But one of the specific islands? Or
One of the islands on the western side
that's
of the...
right, yeah. Because we'd written down like several locations for various activities, and the undead were in them.
Can we see any islands from our position on the coastline at the moment?
No, they are quite a few miles out to sea.
Okay,
You'd have to be up to sea quite the distance to see them.
that's right. And again, that was part of the question, was the idea of, yeah, people talk about the island off the coast, but yeah, that's what we're talking. We're probably not going to get got by arrows from the undead folk on the island then if we can't actually see the island.
So that they are way out of your ability to reach.
Yeah, happy with that.
The Titans or the
Well, the island, like anything on the island, so.
So there is a cove to the south, not where you came, but quite a bit far to the south, where the undead are said to have come from, known as the Bay of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
Which you
That's right, because it was very, very aptly named. I remember writing that down a couple of
All portentous and
games ago.
Well, it was named for a reason.
stuff. Yes.
And if you go further around, you find the lair of a giant squid, which is not the kraken.
Different thing, squid thing.
Giant squid?
Yes, the kraken is known to inhabit these waters. Part of the reason of being the Isle of Dread is many things kill you here.
Well,
There'd be nothing to dread otherwise. Unless it was like the Dread Pirate Roberts, where it wasn't really as bad as everyone said, but they made it sound bad so that people would behave. And
Well, the home of the Dread Pirate Roberts is in the Isle of Dread. He does have a alcove of pirate lair here.
yes. And the real Dread Pirate Roberts is so cool. You do know he's a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do know.
He
I read up
really
on it.
did some insane things.
sorry, where did you say the giant squid was? Or did you just say it
Not
was
far,
around?
not far from the Bay of the Dead.
Mm.
There are many things to worry about in these waters.
Do any of the locals have a map we can use, even if it's just sort of a large-scale one of the island as a whole?
They have not shown you one.
Well, you
Okay.
They just describe things to you.
you don't necessarily need it because I have this really cool capacity to draw maps and remember things. So one of the things I do is as we travel around, I make maps.
So
I do the
So you've
geography.
got a map of where you've been before?
Yeah,
that's fair
and
enough.
anything that's described to me, I've got Wanderer in, a skill
Yeah.
of Wanderer. So as long as I tell
Yeah.
Martin that I'm actively sketching or writing things as I'm going along, I
Which one would you
can
shoot
go
at?
back and say that I've got the
Yeah.
map of this bit or that bit.
Okay, so yes, you've reached the bay, and you can spend the rest of the day going along the edges of the bay to reach the inlet. At which point you'd probably want to stop for the night,
Yeah.
and
travel
we
to the
would
inlet?
finish the session up there as you find another of the little alcove of trees appearing as sun starts to set.
Good stuff.
If we're lucky, when we get back, we'll have got Lani and Brum.
They may have made their way out of the whatever they got stuck in.
The Fey Wild.
Oh, yes. They got sucked into the Feywild because they stopped at one of the secure shelters, and they got back out in a different one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is not unheard of.
Interesting to hear what they got up to, if anything.
They may not have gotten up to anything because you know
Yeah.
how these things work.
Okay, they went to sleep one night and woke up in the morning.
Yep.
And it's not the only time people have gone to sleep once and woken up somewhere else.
So when it says spell singer here, does this mean I should technically be singing all my spells, or
No, that's just a reference to the type of class you
I'm
are.
just teasing? Nobody wants me to sing, especially me.
So yes, finishing
I'm
up for
half
the.
deaf. That gives
Yeah.
you a start.
Did you guys want to ask any questions before the session finishes up for the night?
Do we get any extra points or advantages next time because Calcrix can technically ride a T-Rex?
Quite possibly.
Maybe.
Means you have your
An
own
extra
mount.
dice roll.
There's always
because
bonuses
it's cool.
available.
It's the Isle of Dread. Maybe I'll catch myself a little mini T-Rex that I can ride.
That would actually probably need a full-size one, considering your size is large.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just looking at that thing and
No,
how
no,
I'm like
that's,
this big for that
that's
thing.
no, that's not a T-Rex size. That's the dire T-Rex.
How
that's-
much bigger than a T-Rex is that?
A normal T-Rex is half that height.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
So,
Yeah.
so just for your reference, there are some of the Titan dragons, dinosaurs.
That's okay. The
When,
head's
when you
as
can
big
see
as the
that this
thing
thing
we just
here
fought.
is a tower,
Yeah,
a full complex.
yeah. So actually, the head's like twice the size of the thing we just fought.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. It's actually a little like one of the island pterosaurs, which they worked out could actually fly, the bastard, but it had strong bones, so it was not much of a flyer. But it took over the role of the peak predator on the island and was eating the miniature elephants. That thing it was the size of a giraffe, and it had a head that was 3 meters long. That's the sort of shit we're looking at.
Yep. Okay, so
Yeah.
if there's no more questions, I'll put it to end credits, and
Then we go from there.
Then we can go from there.